Hignet's corner, beyond Bent. Janssen! And Blackburn Rovers are 18 minutes away from a Premiership return.
As far as Stewart, just outside the penalty area, clips it central for David Dunn. David Dunn equalises. It just had to be. Dax corner and it goes. Glance towards goal, and Rovers have taken the lead. And Charlie Mulgrew has scored his 14th of the season. It may well be the goal that sends Rovers back into the Championship.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you're watching from. I'm Ollie Walker-Peel, and today we'll be obviously sitting down to watch the game between Millwall and Rovers. Rovers' second league game of the season. Hopefully it goes just as well as our first did against Swansea last weekend. First away day of the season in the league for Rovers as away days return. Last time we were away in the league and fans were present, well, it didn't end so well, did it? 3-0 against Derby, but hopefully a different result in the offing for today. At the Den, a trip down to the capital. Can it be a fruitful one for Rovers? Now, we are obviously here. I'll get the lineup running across the screen. I didn't have to do too much editing because the lineup is unchanged in terms of the league game. We start in goal with Thomas Kaminsky. Number 2 is Ryan Niambe. Number 3 is Harry Pickering. Number 5 is Daniel Ayala. Number 8 is Joe Rothwell. Number 9 is Sam Gallagher. Number 10 is Tyrese Dolan. Number 21 is John Buckley. Number 22 is Ben Brayton Diaz. Number 26 is the captain, Darrell Enhern. And 27 is Lewis Travis on the bench for Rovers. In goal, backup keeper is number 45, Jordan Eastham. Number 6 is Jacob Davenport. Number 14 is Dan Butterworth. Number 17 is Harry Chapman. 24 is Hayden Carter. Number 35 is Jake Garrett. And number 36 is Tyler McGlaw. So, strong lineup for Rovers as we look to go and claim back-to-back league wins to start a season for the first time, could you believe it, since 1997-98. It's almost a generation. So it's a long time in between drinks in terms of that. And for Millwall, they start off with Bartosz Bielkowski in goal. Number 2 is Danny McNamara. Number 3 is Molly Wallace. Number 5 is Jake Cooper. Number 6 is Michael Kieftenbeld. Number 7 is Jed Wallace. Number 11, Scott Malone. Number 17 is George Saville. Number 23, Benica Fobe. Number 26, Dan Ballard. And number 28 is George Evans on the bench for Millwall this afternoon. Number 1 in goal is George Long. Number 9 is Tom Bradshaw. Number 10 is Matt Smith. Number 15 is Alex Pearce. Number 18, you've got Ryan Leonard. Number 21, former Rover, Connor Mahoney. And number 24 is Billy Mitchell. So there are the lineups for you. We'll just dip into the comments for a second. Got a come on you Blues, come on you Blackburn, whatever you want to go with in the comments there to start. We've got hello from Andy. Hello to you too, mate. Got the Pepsi for Ben Brayton Diaz, so we're loving that. Callum's back. He says hello. Hello to you too, mate. Optimize. Says COYB. Love to see it. Dizzy Thumbs. Let's go Rovers. Top looks good, mate. Yes, it arrived yesterday. Love it. Home and away both arrived yesterday, so relatively new. I was planning to wear the away kit today because I thought we would wear the away kit, but we've obviously worn the yellow third kit, so hopefully I'll be getting that soon. So I'll wear whatever kit that Rovers wear that day. I'll be wearing. And if we wear the yellow one, then I'll just pick between the two. But I've worn the home one today, which is nice. Sonny says hello. El Scotty says hello. And Callum Deadman has given his predictions, as you all should do if you want in the comments. He said 3-1 to Rovers. Just for the record, I'm saying 1-1 is my prediction, which is not as optimistic as perhaps I'd like it to be, but it's relatively optimistic all the same. So Rovers fans in the comments, let me know what you're thinking by telling me your comments, your predictions in the comments, rather. Score prediction, I've just given it, mate. Right on time, 1-1, I think. Sonny says Rovers going to draw on 1. Scott Taylor, hey, mate. Hello to you too. Rovers 2-1 win, says David. Hello to you too, mate. I'd like to see that result. I said before on a previous stream, I've just come off a stream watching the Man United Leeds game with a few people over here in Australia, and I just said, I don't care how we get the job done. If we get the job done, then I'll be happy with it. If it's a win, I don't care how we do it, as long as we do it. Alexander Haben, loyal listener of the channel, of course, 3-1 to Rovers. He says, Ben Brereton, Diaz in doubling the offing, says Scott Taylor for a 2-1 win. Alexander Haven away shirting it, love to see. So I'm still trying to get over this cough, but it won't be as bad today. 2-1 Rovers, Dolan Gallagher. Dolan to score, we win 1-0, and Dizzy Thumbs also says 1 apiece with parity to remain at full time as it will at the start of the match. So varying predictions there from all of you in the comments. Keep those flowing through. I'll try and get to as many of those as I can. So in terms of Millwall then, our opponents for today, obviously they drew on the opening day in the league 1-1 against QPR. Yes, Dwyer. Yes, mate. Pepsi out for Diaz. Where can I get the front? There you go. Pepsi out for Diaz. Hopefully it's a good omen. So they drew 1 apiece, obviously, as we said, against QPR. Jed Wallace with an absolutely brilliant strike, by the way, in that game. And Rob Dickey scored a decent goal of his own, to be fair, for QPR. And they went through in the cup as well, didn't they? They won 2-1. Another side that won 2-1 was Peterborough. Very, very late. 91st and a 100th minute winner from Dembele sees them over the line. So Peterborough, I was on with a Birmingham fan. I was talking about that stream before that I did watching the Leeds United game. And he said that they were 1-0 up with 4 to play. Well, they've not been able to hold on because of an immense amount of stoppage time that Peterborough have gone and stolen 3 points away from them. So Peterborough win there. Where do you think we'll finish in the league? Probably around 15th, 16th, mate, I think. We need a main man up top to replace Armour. Who do you think we should sign? I'm going to obviously be boring here and say Michael Obafemi. Obviously, we've been linked with him. But I think he'd be a decent signing for us. Callum Deadman, what do you think about Armstrong going to Southampton? Obviously, wish him well. I think he had to go just for finances and he deserves his chance. So good luck to him, but he'll obviously be a massive loss for us. Not at Millwall, but Forest away midweek. I'll be there 2-0 today, calling it. Going the early crow. Alexander, you feeling better today? Yes, I am feeling better today. Still not perfect in terms of perfection, and 100% I should be back for Forest. But I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better, so hopefully it serves me okay today. Thank you, Alexander, and for everyone else, because there's been a few well wishes asking how I am, so I do appreciate those. But let's go back to the football then. Obviously, we've talked about the game that's already gone on today in the Championship, obviously with Peterborough's late show and their game against Derby. The other games going on today at 3 o'clock. We've got Reading, Preston, Birmingham host Stoke. So obviously the Gasden family who were on my previous stream, we were talking about that game quite a bit. Barnsley and Coventry, Hull, QPR, Millwall Rovers, obviously the one we are concerned about. We've got Middlesbrough, Bristol City, Blackpool, Cardiff, West Brom, Luton, Huddersfield, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, and then 8 p.m. tonight. It's a late one for you lot back there. It's a massive game, to be fair, in Swansea and Sheffield United. So there we go. Jack, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. Do we get to see your game, or is it just your reaction? Obviously, because of copyright, we can't show the game as much as we would like to. I will commentate through the game, though. So if that's something you want to stick around for, that's about as much of the game as we can provide. Because obviously, through copyright reasons, we don't want to be annoying anyone at the EFL. So yeah, just my reaction, but I will be commentating the game through it. So I'll be like an audio commentary. If that's good enough. Dwyer, don't want Obafemi, he's a fraud. That's harsh. That's harsh. I disagree. Chris Hayes, afternoon, ladies and gents. Feeling really confident for this one. So I guess we're getting stuff. Oh, I love the fake optimism, Chris. I do love the fake optimism. It was nice to join you, by the way, for the Morecambe game, the pre-match Morecambe game, where we were saying that Rovers will win. We didn't, but still nice to chat anyway. And even though that didn't work out for us. You know, we can't get them all right, can we? Here we go. It's your usual top-notch watch-along, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be cocky in any way. But if you lot are enjoying it, then I've done my job. So if you lot enjoy it, then I'm happy. But I'm not going to say anything like that because I don't want to be. I want to be blowing my own trumpet, so to speak. So if you lot enjoy it, then I'm happy. So thanks for the feedback. Yeah, we're just waiting for some football, aren't we? Still got a while to go, another 20 minutes. I will run through the lineups in just a little while. couple of minutes or so. So still a fair amount of time to go before kickoff. I'll go back into the comments, and then I'll just take a quick 2-minute break, just before I jump back into it, just so I can get myself, fit and fine for today. Could do with a few more minutes alongside me, just to help me get through this cough, just in case it decides to annoy me again. So I'll probably go get a few more of those, and then I'll be back, and then I'll go right the way through. I did manage, obviously, the game for Leeds and United. Obviously, I didn't have to commentate too much of that, but I got through, so I'm hopeful today. Couple more comments. So we've got a 3-1, Diaz with 2, and Trav with 1. Richie said, "Oh, hello, Cal. Didn't expect to see you here, mate." Richie 7, a mate of mine over here in Australia. Did not expect to see him here. Welcome, mate. Nice to see you. 2-0 Rovers. He's a Newcastle fan, so he'll probably be watching Newcastle, but I appreciate that. Very nice. Dizzy Thumbs, good commentary. Stick around. Thank you. Where's the boys? Have they done the den? Yes, and they're not on the watch along anyway. I'm on the watch alongs this season, so I don't know if that disappoints you or not. Hopefully not. But I think, oh no, none of them are there. I don't think Ryan's there. He said he's got something on. Luke has something on, I think. But I think Dan, in fact, I know Dan's at the game. Silent Dan himself is at the game. So there's some people there. Alexander Haven with great commentary. Again, thank you. Has to be drinking Pepsi. Once again, I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it 1,000 times. Pepsi for Brio. We love it. Caitlin McGloin says, if we win this game, you're the Rovers' good luck charm. 1 game commentated, 1 win. Can I make it 2 from 2? I hope so. Who is scoring for Rovers today? I said 1-1. I'll go Tyrese. Dolan. I think he was class. From bio reports, he was decent last week, in midweek, sorry. And obviously played really, really well against Swansea, so I'm quite confident. Last comment before I take a quick little break, and I'll be back. I'm on a holiday in the Netherlands, so I'm managing to watch the game today. Oh, nice, Joe. Nice, Joe. Sorry to miss you all on watch long. Joe, I will say, I hope I don't get sued for this, and royalties will be coming your way. I did mention you in the stream I was doing. I quoted, obviously, the guys, is there a game on? I had to do it. Everyone was really confused, but I'm getting the Rovers chatting to various streams, so that will do me just fine. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, just to make sure I'm ready to go for the game. Rovers Millwall on Rovers Chat. Back in a couple of minutes' time.
The Rovers Chat YouTube channel is proudly sponsored by 6yardsout.com. They've got retro football from every era with mugs, phone cases and much more. They also have plenty of Rovers goods, including apparel with the famous 94-95 season and this season's kit. Check them out using the link in the description below.
Right, we are back. Welcome back to Rovers Chat. Watch along for the Millwall and Rovers game. Murray Mitts in tow. Absolutely buzzing. So there we go. So a quick one. We're back in the comments. Chris Hayes says he's talent spotting Joe. He says not. He's not actually on holiday in the Netherlands. I didn't get that at first. Rovers kickoff's been delayed. Has it now? Pointing to Rich Sharp. To when? To when is it being delayed? Joe, update us, please, if you will. 3:15 kickoff. Oh, so we've got a bit more time to do a bit of pre-match then. Oh, okay. 3:15 kickoff is being confirmed. So it's a bit of breaking news for you. Kickoff will now be delayed an extra 15 minutes. That's not something we were expecting. So to those of you who wanted a game starting at 3 o'clock, I do apologise. That is well out of my control. I should edit this video printer now, so I will do that. Give us a quick moment. So we're making all this up, I suppose. I'll just type this one through for you all, and then we're all good to go. Obviously, Rich Sharp, very, very trustworthy, as all you Rovers fans would know. So there we go. So kickoff now, 3:15. And Rovers Forest under 18s abandoned at halftime. Rovers were 2-0 up at the time. No explanation given us yet. So nothing at Rovers at the moment is going to plan today, is what you're saying. So that better change. That better change. We better have a win today. Do we know why kickoff's been delayed? Can we have a reason potentially as to why kickoff's been delayed? Or is it just does no one know? I was trying to load up Twitter, but it wasn't the quickest for me. Kickoff delayed by 15 minutes. Okay, right. So we know that for sure. With delays with supporters who are travelling by train to the stadium. Okay. So hopefully, it's just that train issues. Yeah, I've just looked. But thank you for backing me up. Does that mean we can watch the last 15 minutes on iFollow? I doubt it. In fact, because it'd be outside of the 5 o'clock, what do you call it? 5 o'clock blackout time. So could be. I'm not your question. I'm not the person to ask for that. You might have to email someone at EFL headquarters there, because I don't have the answer for you. I do apologise. Arno says hello to you too, mate. How are you? Hope you're well. So yeah, just updating you if you've just joined us. Rovers and Millwall kickoff delayed by 15 minutes due to train delays. So not even sure how that's going to happen, but it's 2021. Things have happened. Armin, good evening from Melbourne. Good evening to you too, mate. We have a fellow Melbourne Rovers fan here. Absolutely buzzing with that. Hope you're well. And obviously at the moment, we're approaching 12 o'clock and it's quite late for us over here. So it'd be nice if we could go to bed with a win. Hopefully, for the pair of us. And for the rest of the Rovers fans who are potentially watching over here as well. I know Dizzy Thumbs, obviously, from Tassie. So, bit of an Australian following here. Don't mind it. Pepsi 22, Manuel, definitely, mate. I've got a fridge full of them. So, one of them's empty here. I had one for the Man United stream. One of them's half full. I'm already starting for the Saints. No, I don't want to cry yet. For those who know me, some of my friends or people that I know personally might not be here yet. But if they are, they'll know that I'm incapable of crying. But this might push me over the edge because I'm probably my favourite Rovers player over the past 3 seasons, and he's obviously now gone. But hope it as well. Michael Pearson says, good morning. Good morning to you. Obviously, very, very, very not morning for me. It's very late into the night over here. But big fork in the road. It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Realistically, for those of you, I mean, all of you will have an idea on English football, unless my Australian mates who are joining me who are just getting into English football, maybe because of Rovers Chat. But for those of you who even have the faintest idea of English football, Millwall's a tough place to go, and especially with fans there. I know we've had a good record at Millwall. With fans back, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, and Callum's just seconded that for me. It's going to be very tough. But there we go. I'm assuming this is about Armour. I hope he scores the winner in the 90th minute. If he does the Angel of the North, then I'll be very happy. I suppose what I could do from the time between 3 o'clock and 3:15, I could do like a around the grounds kind of thing. Manuel, Instagram, what are you referring to? Whose Instagram do you want, mate? I can try and help you out. Good games. I ran through them before. I mean, the biggest one doesn't kick off for another what now? Another 5 hours. So that was a shame because Swansea Sheffield United will be an absolute belter. Even though Swansea are down on last season and Sheffield United got beat Both teams have got a point to prove. So I think it will be a decent game. As we move ever so closer to our intended kickoff time, that has been delayed 15 minutes. So I'm going to have to waffle a bit longer than I would have liked. And that's before the game started. I'll run through the Rovers lineup, Rovers and Millwall lineups in a moment. So yeah, I'll try and do that for you lot, just to make this a bit easier to follow. But again, if you're just joining us, the game is delayed. Yes, Callum, you'll see it run along the bottom of the screen just here. It's 3:15 kickoff local time, which for me now makes it midnight, which doesn't make that big a difference, because obviously I'm still awake and it's still late, but that's all right. Armin, 100% agree with this comment. Not a fan of the late kickoffs, especially the ones at 2 a.m. when daylight saving kicks in. Speaking of people who've kicked into the stream, surprise guest, Mr. Harvey himself, Rovers Analytics. Hello, mate. Didn't expect to see you here.
Hello.
How are we?
Yeah, I'm joining you from the Netherlands. I just thought while kickoff was delayed, I'd give you a bit of a boost, somebody to bounce off for 10 minutes. Why not? Hello, everyone.
Would be nice. Hello, Joe Harvey, the celebrity himself, the Rovers Chat celebrity himself. Good to have you, mate. Good to have you, mate. Good to have you here. I needed someone to bounce off, so
I think you did. I could feel it.
I obviously, it's tough to just natter. It is very tough, but there you go. I've just seen the private chat, by the way, so thank you. I do appreciate the chop out. It's nice. So what do you reckon then, Joe? Today's game, Millwall, obviously delayed 15 minutes, which doesn't help. What do you reckon?
Well, it's an unchanged team for starters, which I don't really mind. A very different game to the game against Swansea, though. You know, they play a very different game of football, so this one really doesn't suit the team that's on the pitch. So as much as I'm not surprised he's gone unchanged, we need some consistency. I don't know. I'm worried a little bit. I was pretty confident last night on the Friday Night Live show. I want to see Gallagher through the middle and Dolan wide, but I know it won't be that. So, you know. And guys, I am in the Netherlands. I'm tuning in live and direct from the Netherlands. I don't know what you're talking about.
Here we go. You've baited quite a few people, including Dizzy Thumbs here. And also, who else did you get? You got someone else. El Scotty, nice hotel room, quality banter. Few people asking where I'm watching the game. I'm based in Australia, so with the international sort of TV, I'm on Rovers TV. If you're based in the UK, you can't do that, so that's very unlucky. Matt, signing from Malta. Nice. Good to hear from you. Let's go Rovers, agree with that one too. And a bit of an irrelevant one. Joe, Fernandez's third was offside, right?
It was touch and go, wasn't it? They've said that they've made the lines thicker for the offsides this year, and that they reckon that a certain percentage more will be given. I don't even think they got the lines out to show us, but I'm buzzing because he's my captain in the Fantasy Premier League. So
he's not mine. I've got Salah. I don't know if you saw, by the way, on my Instagram or Twitter, if I posted it. Dan Pikes. I'm in an FPL league over here. I do a little bit for an FPL company over here. I was on a stream watching the United game. I've got Dan Pike and Harry Pickering in the league. I don't know how I've done it.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Dan Pike, friend of the stream.
Yeah, of course. Friend of the stream. He's not in the squad today, which is kind of disappointing because I want to see him get a run, but who knows? But he'll get his chance, I reckon, this season at some point. I thought he should have got it against Morecambe, but not to be.
Well, it's one of them, isn't it, that Morecambe game? Because you end up out of the cup anyway. And I came away from Ewood that night just thinking, God, we should have played more of the younger players. But at the end of the day, for Jordan Easton, Tyler McGlaw, Jake Garrett, Dan Butterworth, to all get the chance to travel down to London with the squad, it's a good opportunity for them. And even if they don't get onto the pitch, it's still a decent opportunity.
Hopefully, Jack's not a fan of the watch-alongs by the sound of things. He's new to the channel. Please subscribe, by the way, if you are also new. He was asking before if we've got video of the match or if it's just me commentating. And obviously, because of copyright, I had to explain that I can't obviously show the game. Anyone got a stream? I don't know if there's a legal way to watch it if you're based in the UK. Joe?
Yeah, get yourself on a flight to the Netherlands like I have. Yeah, just get yourself on a flight to the Netherlands like I have. Hop on Rovers TV and you should be able to get in.
Well, I think if the kickoff time's delayed again for maybe another 3 days, you might be all right. You might be able to make it work. But I doubt that'll be the case. I doubt they'll have that many train delays. But who knows, I suppose. Hi, guys, watching from Pakistan. Says Zakhtar. Nice to have you. Are we getting the Brighton kid? I assume so. But just there's an injury worry, so I think he's gone back to Brighton to sort that out. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, weird one, really. I don't know whether that's a case of let him go back and make sure it's not going to be too long term. There was talk today about Rovers looking at more short-term loans until January, especially in the defensive area, because they expect Scott Wharton to return, and obviously Bradley Dack will return around that time. So depending on Reda Kadra's injury situation, it could be that he does come, but only on a 6-month loan, perhaps.
I will say it was very hilarious getting baited out by false baited out, I should say, because I thought that I was going to be baited out by his name. I thought it was like a AFTV style name where it was like, oh, I'll read this out and I'll get baited and I'll get laughed at. But no, he's an actual footballer, so I got humbled. Ross Gibson says a very international audience today. It seems like it, doesn't it? We've had Malta, Australia, Pakistan, a few others in there. So very nice. VPN says he's watching from Boston. Class, if you'd be able to watch it. If you want to mute the commentators and have me on, that would be somewhat decent. Chris Hayes, meet you in the house with the red light on after Joe. Just make of that one what you will. Make of that one what you will. I'm not giving that much more airtime, and don't condone this. But if you are desperate, and I must say, due to legal reasons, I do not condone this.
Yeah, support Rovers TV.
Support Rovers TV if you can, and if you can't, support our channel. It's not really catch-22, is it? So, have you got a score prediction, John? You probably gave on the Friday Night Live, which I did tune into, which was more of a Saturday morning live for me because it was about 5 o'clock this morning. I was watching that. I was up for Brentford Arsenal anyway, but have you got a prediction? Have you updated it, perhaps?
Well, I said 2-0 last night on the show. I feel like on a game day, I'm always a little bit less confident, when the nerves start kicking in. I'll stick with my prediction. I'll stick to my guns and say we'll win it. We've got a decent record up there and down there, I should say. So we'll see how we go. But it's the nerves are kicking in. 2 wins from 2 would be just brilliant in a season where we're expected to struggle. 6 points on the board early on would just be smashing.
It would be, I agree. Optimize, your comments not going up, mate. I don't know if you're having a look at the YouTube comment section. You cannot be saying that. That's not getting airtime. Something that will, the high press, Rovers TV not working for me, I'm USA. You've got to subscribe to a pass. I don't know if you've done that already. And if not, then I don't know, because mine's working okay. But no. Oh, these comment sections, I swear. Optimize. That's a yellow card, mate. That's a Gavin Ward. Where's Wardy? I don't have a yellow card in my pocket. If I did, I'd be issued.
Have you got that video in here? Let's play it. Hang on. Let me find it.
Can we get
Where's it gone? Let's find it. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I've got it. Hang on. Here we go.
Go on. That's the one. That's the one.
That is the one. That's the
Where
one.
is it
Where's
today?
Wardy?
Where is it today? We
He's at Birmingham Stoke. Yeah.
Oh,
Birmingham Stoke, he's at.
Oh, my days. I was saying just before that I was talking to Birmingham fans who I was on the stream with before, and I neglected to mention that Gavin Ward was the man in the middle. So, I just can't remember the Luton one. I won't forget the Luton one, I should say, because he, didn't have the greatest game there. I will say, while you're here, guys, there's a game on. I quoted that in the previous live stream that I did, and everyone was very confused. It's an all-Australian panel, and they were very confused, but I still quoted anyway. I'll see if I can get the clip and send it through. Brilliant. We need to find that now. It's filling time, which is nice. The games are about to kick off everywhere else other than at the Den. If you are just joining us, it has been delayed 15 minutes.
Did you see the Peterborough Derby score in the end? There was something like 10 minutes of added time down there, and they nicked it.
Because he mentioned that said Birmingham fan mentioned that Derby were 1-0 up with 4 to play, and I'm like, Derby will get a good win there. Nope. I looked at it as soon as I hopped on here, 2-1. Unbelievable. Where's this video? I need to find it. The old
right. It's in
so guys, there's a game on. There's the one. There it is.
Guys, there's a game on.
Or in the case of the Den, there isn't, because we're still delayed kickoff. It's poetic. It's poetic. I need to be back in this one, don't I? There we go.
That's it.
But Joe, I probably will. How long are you planning to stay on for? I've nearly clicked on broadcast there while trying to go into the comments. How long are you planning to stay on for?
Couple more minutes. Go make myself a brew before kick-off, or maybe even grab a beer, a famous Dutch beer, maybe, whilst I'm in the country. So, yeah, I think I'll just give a few more thoughts before I go then, and leave you to it. Like I said, I'd have preferred to see Gallagher down the middle, really, but we'll see what comes of it. What's your score prediction, by the way? I haven't tuned into the whole thing, so
I said 1 apiece. So, very good point Ross Gibson makes. By the way, this is entirely my fault. I just brought up the one from last week because I forgot to see a change, and I knew there was an extra one on the team sheet, and forgot to edit it. I've got it down on my paper as Hayden Carter, but just didn't change it on the stream. So I shall do that for you. So I hope I'm not getting sacked, please. I enjoy this. But there you go. Carter is in, and the stream is away.
Right, I'm gonna leave you to it then, Ollie. I will leave you to it. Enjoy the stream. Everybody else, enjoy. If you're not managing to catch the game, then stick with us and watch the watch along. And I'll join you later. If we win, I might pop on at the end and give you a join if I can. We'll see.
I'll be waiting for you, mate. Have a good one, lad.
Right, see you later.
All right. Joe Harvey, the legend himself from Rovers Analytics, of course, joining the stream, crashing the stream there. But obviously, no complaints whatsoever. There we go. That's better. Sorry, Ross. I do have it on my paper as Hayden Carter, as I say. Enjoy the holiday. There we go. A few comments. But there you go. I'll run through the lineups again for you. Rovers are unchanged in terms of a starting 11 from their last league game against Swansea. In goal is Thomas Kaminsky. Number 2, Ryan Nyambe. Number 3, Harry Pickering. Number 5 is Daniel Ayala. Number 8 is Joe Rothwell. Number 9 is Sam Gallagher. Number 10 is Tyrese Dolan. Number 21 is John Buckley. Number 22 is Ben Brayton Diaz. Number 26, the captain Darrell Lenihan. 27, Lewis Travis. And on the bench is not Conor McBride. It is, in fact, number 45, Jordan Easton. Number 36, Tyler McGlaw. 24, Hayden Carter. 35, Jake Garrett. 6, Jacob Davenport. 17, Harry Chapman. 14, Dan Butterworth. And for Millwall, I don't know if there's any Millwall fans in here. If there are, show yourselves. We don't wish your team best of luck for today, but here we go. Oh, it's messed up my clean sheet in FPL. I've got Robert Sanchez in goal. Burnley have apparently scored. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase myself. The team that shall not be named have scored. But for Millwall, Bartosz Białkowski starts in between the sticks. Number 2 is Danny McNamara. Number 3 is Murray Wallace. Number 5 is Jake Cooper. Number 6 is Michael Kieftenbeld. Number 7, Jed Wallace. Number 11 is Scott Malone. Number 17 is George Saville. 23, Benik Afobe. Number 26 is Dan Ballard. 28 is George Evans. On the bench is number 1, George Long. Number 9 is Tom Bradshaw. Number 10, Matt Smith. Number 15 is Alex Pearce. Number 18 is Ryan Leonard. Number 21, former Rover Connor Mahoney. And number 24 is Billy Mitchell. So there are the team news for today. Kickoff delayed, as we've been through. Another 12 minutes to go before scheduled kickoff time now, or the new scheduled kickoff time. At the Den, El Scotti also has Robert Sanchez in FPL. Dolan false 9, they couldn't handle him last time. That was when he was unleashed as a false 9, wasn't it? Against Millwall away last season when we won 2-0. So it would make sense to unleash him there again, in my opinion, especially after his performance in Swansea. But maybe TM has different ideas. Keep your comments rolling through. Obviously, it's been a bit of a longer pre-match than I would have liked. The game should be underway by now, but I've heard of no more delays. So we should be okay. Michael Sandback, all afternoon to you. Obviously, it's definitely not the afternoon behind that blind there, but for me, but that's okay. We will go to the championship score to see if there's any goals in the championship as of yet around the grounds. I'll do that in just a moment. There is not yet a goal around the ground. So all games in the championship are goalless. In the Premier League, obviously we've heard of a goal at Turf Moor, which is true. That's the only goal in the Premier League so far. Leicester Wolves, Chelsea Palace, Watford Villa, Everton Southampton, all goalless. In League One, sure there's some goals around English football somewhere. League One looks mostly goalless too. League One is all goalless. So Sheffield Wednesday, Doncaster, Plymouth, Gillingham, Portsmouth, Crewe, Morecambe, Shrewsbury, Lincoln, Fleetwood, MK Don, Sunderland, Cheltenham, Wickham, Wimbledon, Bolton, Burton, Ipswich, Accrington, Cambridge, Oxford, Charlton, and Wigan also might have a delayed kickoff time. But they are all goalless. And League Two is the final league I'll run through. At the moment, they'll look goalless too. Not every game is goalless. So Barrow have got a goal against Hartlepool. Offrande Zanzala with the only goal in League Two. They lead Hartlepool by a goal to 0. Rochdale, Scunthorpe, Leyton Orient, Exeter, Colchester, Northampton Town, Walsall, Forest Green, Bristol Rovers, Stevenage, Port Vale, Tranmere, Swindon, Carlisle, and Bradford City, Oldham are all goalless. So not many goals, of which to speak of. Who had Fernandes captain FPL? Not me. I went with Salah, who is yet to play. Prediction, I said 1-1. Keep your predictions rolling through. Michael Pearson, will you be going to the Ashes? Funny you say that. I'm going to every day of every Ashes test, other than Sydney. So I'm doing Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide. If it goes ahead, there's been talk that it'll be postponed. I hope not. I've rattled through this Pepsi. I don't know how I'm going to get through this game, but I will. So still another 10 minutes till kickoff. It's been a really annoying wait for this game, but we're there. We're going to get there. We're all going to get there. So kickoff delayed till 3:15. It's going to be called off. Says who? Oh, the Ashes. I thought you meant Rovers for a second there. It's going to be called off. I hope you're wrong. My heart skipped a beat there because I thought you meant Rovers for a second. And if you do mean Rovers, I'm very disappointed. But yeah, Michael Pearson said that's a life. Well, I mean, it's mostly as my 18th birthday present because I'm not even 18 yet. So that was sort of like part of it. I'm still 17. I don't know if you want to believe that or not, but it's true. But there you go. It might get called off. It would be a shame, but who knows? Why was the game delayed, says Kieran? It was because of bus delays, or train delays, I should say, rather. Fans getting into the ground couldn't get in, so it's because of the train. Delaying the train lines. Huddersfield won up already. I just ran through all those games, and there was no goals, so now there is. There you go, Huddersfield a goal up. Obviously, just answered that question as to why the game was delayed. Can't see the Ashes being called off. Too much TV money. Fair point. And also, the amount of money it generates for Australian tourism is mad. So I'm sort of in that camp too. And that is also hope as well. As the sprinklers are on at Deepdale, there we've got some actual things to report on from the den, although not much. In fact, very little. The game, which should have kicked off 8 minutes ago, hasn't yet done so. So apparently Huddersfield are a goal up. I don't see that. I still see Huddersfield as 0-0 on Google, but if you want to tell me who scored the goal, Lewis, then that would be nice. 5-0 Aussies in the Ashes, mate. Dream on. What are the chances of signing anyone? Quite high. Maybe not on a permanent, maybe on a loan. I've just seen your profile picture there. I've just zoomed into it. There you go. Interesting one. We'll sign someone, but who and on what terms, I'm not yet sure. I'm sure there'll be someone. West Brom a goal up, so now the goals are flying in. Huddersfield is 0-0. Lewis, you are a fraud, mate, for telling me otherwise. West Brom are a goal up, apparently. I think I did. Did I go over that one? I have now. And the goal score hasn't yet popped up on Google. So I suppose we'll leave one of the rest of the championship and focus on Rovers. Why is Rovers not on iFollow? It's on Rovers TV, which is now a new equivalent for the season. So I'm assuming it should be. Mine's working just fine. So I don't know why yours isn't. Unless you're based in the UK and then none of the games are being shown this season. Came as 1-0 up on flash score. So apologies. So that one obviously didn't quite work out. It's been changed. So that's all the results. So everything's happening. The championship looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it, today? But we're not part of the action yet. I hope that changes very soon. And it will. Because kickoff is in approximately 5 minutes' time. And I will say, I don't have my phone alongside me today because it's charging because I'm running on my hotspot. So I will get to the comments. If there's an injury, maybe if there's a goal, definitely at halftime. It's going to be a lot harder this week because I'm watching the same device. I'm watching the game on the same device that I'm streaming through. And while you're all absolutely, great supporters of the channel, my sort of job here is to provide commentary for the game, and I can't do that if I'm not watching it. So I hope you all understand. I'll try and get to the comments as much as I can today. But I do also have to watch the game. First league game on Rovers TV, by the way. Obviously, last season we had them all on iFollow. I don't assume it'll make much of a difference, but all for housekeeping. We'll run through the lineups one more time then before the players grace the Den turf. We'll start with the host Millwall. In goal, they've got number 33 Bartosz Białkowski. Number 2 is Danny McNamara. Number 3 is Murray Wallace. Number 5 Jake Cooper. Number 6 Michael Kieftenbeld. Number 7 is Jed Wallace. Number 11 is Scott Malone. Number 17 is George Saville. Number 23 is Benik Afobe. 26 is Dan Ballard. 28 is George Evans. And on the bench, George Long. You've got Tom Bradshaw, Matt Smith, Alex Pearce, Ryan Leonard, Connor Mahoney, and Billy Mitchell. And for Rovers, in goal is Thomas Kaminsky. Number 2 is Ryan Nyambe. Number 3, Harry Pickering. Number 5, Daniel Ayala. Number 8 is Joe Rothwell. Number 9, Sam Gallagher. 10 is Tyrese Dolan. 21 is John Buckley. 22, Ben Brayton Diaz. Number 26, Darrell Leonard. 27, Lewis Travis. On the bench for the away side in the yellow kit this afternoon will be number 45, Jordan Easton. Number 36, Tyler McGlaw. Number 24, Hayden Carter. Number 35 is Jake Garrett. 6 is Jacob Davenport. 17 is Harry Chapman. And 14 is Dan Butterworth. So still no sign of the players on my stream of the game. I might dip back into the comments one final time before kickoff. So not much has really been said in the comments, to be fair. Now Huddersfield is 1-0, but just to Fulham. Nice to have that one cleared up. But as I say, apologies. I hope you still stick about, but I do obviously have to watch the game. But the players are walking out. The Millwall crowd rise to their feet as Rovers and Millwall players are on their way out onto the turf here at the Den. So I'm not at the Den. I wish I was. That would be brilliant. I'm just in my little den an hour away from Melbourne. But buzzing for this one all the same. Hopefully Rovers can get the job done in that smashing new third kit that Macron released just a day or so ago. As the Millwall fans find their voice, the Rovers hoping to silence them out there on the pitch this afternoon, local time. So you can maybe see the lineups on the screen if you are, of course, watching on Rovers TV if you are an international subscriber. Millwall have got some talent, to be fair. Jed Wallace and Benica Phobe probably the mains that stand out, to be honest. Scott Malone's also decent. They're the three that I would sort of point out for anyone who hasn't seen a whole lot of Millwall, as I haven't, but from what I have seen, those three will be the main threats. Benica Phobe just scores goals. Hopefully he doesn't score today. Played 63 times in the Premier League for Bournemouth. I thought he played a little less than that. I knew he was obviously on the books at Bournemouth, but I didn't think he played that many. As the captains in Cooper and Lenihan convene in the middle, Rovers looking to go for back-to-back wins for the first time in a very long time. As the Rovers lineup comes up on the screen for those watching on iFollow and the like. Unchanged in the league, which is nice because it's nice to have a bit of consistency, I reckon. I do like the fact that we can do that, as there is a period of applause. I'll assume that it's for all the Millwall fans and players and people connected to the club who've lost their lives over the pandemic, which is obviously a very, very sad occurrence, and it's horrible. It's been horrible, this pandemic, on so many levels. So, obviously, right to observe the applause. Hopefully, you are all traveling okay. Obviously, for I can't remember the name of the commenter from Melbourne. I do apologise, but obviously we're in lockdown, so that's not great. But at least we still got to watch some football as the applause concludes. And 15 minutes later than we should have done, we will get some football for Rovers. Andy Davies is the man in the middle, as it looks like Rovers will get us underway from left to right, Millwall from right to left. As there's a shade of the 90s about Rovers today, in that kit inspired by the 1992 successes in the playoff final against Leicester, and looking to break a record, an unwanted record that's been standing since 1997-98. Not since then have Rovers started a league campaign with 2 wins, and they have the chance to break that duck today. London calls. How will Rovers answer the call? As Tyrese Dolan kicks off, Rovers are away in all yellow from left to right. Millwall in their famed navy blue shirts and white shorts from right to left. Obviously, Millwall point to their name in the league. Accrued that on the opening day away at the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. And they're making a foray forward here as well. Early on in the game, they've got a throw in on the right-hand side. George Evans across to take. Obviously, the first game back in terms of league football for Millwall fans. They're looking to create that sense of animosity that is so synonymous with them, as the ball's whipped in from the right, header on goal. Shouldn't trouble Kaminsky and doesn't. Flashes past his right hand up right for a goal kick. 1 minute down, still goalless. Obviously, last time Rovers visited the Den, it was a successful trip. Obviously, a 2-0 win for Rovers. Bradley Dack and Sam Gallagher on the score sheet For the visitors that day, Tyrese Dolan obviously was the first time he really played as a false nine, and it served us so well. As Wallace plays the ball out wide, McNamara latches onto it. Was on loan at Newport last season, 23 appearances to his name there. And they're just playing the ball around the back here, the host. Now they decide to switch it diagonally. Getting across his Pickering to try and cover. He does well in the end to withstand the pressure, but it's a poor clearance. It's only as far as George Evans for Millwall on the Millwall right. Well, inside their attacking half, laterally now to Saville, looking in behind, but it's intercepted by Rothwell. Nice one too, as Rovers look to move the ball forward. Nice ball sprayed out wide for Ryan Nyambe, who is a positive side of the halfway line in an attacking sense. But Rovers forced to retreat, and now back with the captain in Darrell Lenihan. As Rovers just looking to build up some possession here early on, 2.5 minutes gone. Rothwell goes for the diagonal switch towards Brayton Diaz. Didn't get through to him. Header one in the end by Kieftenbeld. Millwall now try a ball over the top. Ayala should nod it back to Kaminsky and does. Thomas Kaminsky, of course, 44 appearances last season. The ball in hand just then. His clearance upfield was returned back. It's actually put him in a bit of trouble, and he's dealt with it just about. It was a high looping ball that he had to deal with. It's one you expect him to deal with, and he's dealt with it, but nervy times for the Rovers number one, who would have had his heart in his mouth for just a second at least. But Rovers survive. That would have been a horrendous way to go 1-0 down, but it's still goalless. My days, that would have been horrible. As Murray Wallace now tries the switch for Millwall. It's going to work for the home side. McNamara onto Jed Wallace. As Ayala opposing him. Looks to whip one in. And Nyambe just turns that one behind for a corner. It was Scott Malone looking to steal in the back post, but Nyambe didn't let him anywhere near it. Turns it behind for a corner, and Millwall have got an early chance to potentially have a attempt on goal here. What a good build up down the Millwall right. Fizzed in right across the face of goal, and Nyambe, better safe than sorry, just to turn the ball behind. He had more space than he thought, though, did the Namibian international. But now a corner for Millwall. As Millwall looking to crowd the goalkeeper here in Thomas Kaminsky. A myriad of players in that 6-yard box. Can Rovers deal with the set piece? Or will Millwall go goal up early on? It's floated in. And the header on goal is wide. I was lost to have seen what happened there just for a second, but the chance has gone for Millwall. It looked like potentially from a reverse angle. It might have come off Sam Gallagher, but Jake Cooper, who did have the header on goal, wasn't complaining too much, and so it's a goal kick, which Thomas Kaminsky will take in all orange for this one. Long ball up towards Brayton Diaz. He loses out in the 50-50. Lofted ball looking for Dolan. Does look as though he's playing through the middle, which we do like to see. Looks like Brayton on the left, Gallagher on the right, Dolan through the middle, which is, I think, what a lot of Rovers fans wanted after his performance against Swansea. Throwing taken short, Dolan. Back to Pickering, who slips momentarily, but in the end readjusts his footing. Lenihan out wide to Ryan Nyambe at right back. So down the line, blocked by Malone. Out for a Rovers throw. Travis looks for Dolan. Back now with the former Liverpool youngster, who was able to win Rovers a throw. So just under 6.5 minutes gone here on Rovers Chat. No goals of which to speak of as of yet. Neither goalkeeper really tested either, to be fair. Header out of play for another Rovers throw. So quite an attritional affair so far, as one they very well have expected. Nyambe, Dolan, back to Ryan Nyambe. Let's just clip it forward for Dolan to chase. He'll get there ahead of Murray Wallace. Will Tyrese Dolan on the Rovers' right. Looks to just shimmy past the Millwall man. Is unable to do so, but a Rovers throw in further advance from the previous two. As Blackburn look to get on the scoreboard early and get themselves a goal. 1-2 between Nyambe and Dolan, who goes down. He thought it was fouled. And eventually, Rovers have got themselves a free kick. Relatively tight to the right-hand touchline as well. From a Rovers point of view, it will be Pickering and Rothwell to stand over it. Be floated in. Can Rovers profit from this early chance? You tend to Lenihan or Ayala to be prime targets in the middle. If Rothwell or Pickering can pick them out, depending on who whips the ball in. It will be Harry Pickering towards the back post. Flicked behind off the head of Murray Wallace for a Rovers corner. So now Blackburn get their first corner of the game, as they now look to let Millwall pay. Armour has apparently scored. I've just flicked up over to the comments. It's not in a blue and white shirt, but Armour doing what he does best. Now for Southampton. It'll bring a tear to most Rovers fans' eyes, but hopefully his former players can get a goal here. It'll be Rothwell to try and whip this ball in. Bit of push and shove going on in the penalty area. It's a deep ball, and in the end, it's all the way out for a Millwall goal kick. So poor effort from Joe Rothwell there. Not too unfamiliar with wearing yellow, of course, formerly of Oxford United, but also wore yellow in an away kit for Rovers as well in his first season with the club. Obviously scored that now famous goal at the City Ground that won goal of the season in 2018-19 in the yellow shirt. Maybe it's an omen, who knows. As Millwall look to clip the ball forward, long hopeful ball towards Afobe, and he's unable to make it work through to Kaminsky, who takes it under no duress. Long, high ball up forward. Malone wins his header, and the ball does go out of play. Nyambe takes a throw in short. Return back to him as he looks to try and get Rovers forward. Infield to Gallagher. He's got Brayton to his left, Dolan to his right. Gallagher goes alone and loses out. Dispossessed. Now Millwall can move the other way through Afobe. Too heavy touch, kept Lennon interested and won the ball back. Gallagher tries a nutmeg and gets a lucky ricochet off Jake Cooper. Travis goes back. Pickering under pressure from Afobe. That was a hopeful ball forward, but through to Bielkowski with no real trouble. So 11 minutes gone in a game that was delayed by 15. And it's been a pretty uneventful 26 minutes, all encompassed, to be fair. Joe Harvey's introduction to the live stream was probably the most entertaining point of those 28 minutes. And as entertaining as Joe is, we'd rather be talking about some positive Rovers moments. But not yet to be. I suppose positive is that we haven't conceded, but there's the optimism so far. That's about all I can draw from this game. Trying to take it from Rovers down the line. And they just result to hoofing the ball down the line after the header was away by Cooper. Another Rovers throw. Right about on halfway. Nyambe. Intelligent touch. Looking to go down the wing. Nyambe goes back. Now Millwall in possession. And the offside flag has gone up from the assistant referee on the far side. So a Rovers free kick. 12.5 minutes in. Long pull forward up towards Brayton Diaz, who loses out in the end to Evans. In fact, it was Dan Ballard, and now Millwall look to move forward through Jed Wallace. Got Ayala for company, looks to whip one in early, and it's blocked by Daniel Ayala and behind for a Millwall corner. Jed Wallace does look their chief threat at the moment, as we earmarked before the game. Looks like those fears have been proven right. Rovers will have to limit his influence if they are to take all 3 points, one would sense. He's looked really good early on. As the Millwall stalwart. 203rd league appearance for Millwall. As the corner's whipped in towards the front post, headed away. Still not yet clear. Brayton Diaz has to hook it further clear and does so. Mopping up the mess is McNamara. Looks to switch it high and long towards the back stick. Ballard goes up but loses out in the end. Rovers tentative to control, hoofed away for Dolan to chase, but he won't get there. It will be McNamara again. Bit of interplay with Kieftenbeld. Now across to Murray Wallace. As you'll have established by now, 2 Wallaces in the starting 11 for Millwall. 1 wearing 3 and 1 wearing 7. Evans. Millwall just playing the ball around the back at the moment. Saville. Ball forward didn't work out for Millwall as Rovers looked to go the other way. Gallagher on the Rovers' right. Had Nyambe on the overlapping run, ignored him. Still he holds the ball up. He's done well, Gallagher. Surely was fouled, and he was. George Evans is the offender. So a third of the way through the first half, and really not much to report on, to be fair. We hope that changes from a Rovers point of view. As once again, with free kicks as we've seen, and really has to be expected, it's Rothwell and Pickering standing over it. Once again, many targets to aim for, including the likes of Brayton Diaz and Lenihan. As Rothwell holds one arm aloft, 30 yards out, whips one in. Towards the back post, headed away. Buckley looks to take it down. In the end, didn't help a player in yellow as Millwall now look to go on the break. Wallace, dispossessed by Britton Diaz, Buckley, now with the Chilean international. As Rovers win the throw. Millwall thought it was theirs. George Evans had thrown the ball in, but before realising that it wasn't a throw for the hosts and rather for the visitors. Pickering goes short to Dolan. Nice 1-2 between the pair. Dolan looks to surge down the Rovers' left. He went down under the challenge, but it was a fair one according to the referee. Ball forward from Rothwell towards Britton Diaz, unable to get there. Now Evans out wide to McNamara. Surging down the Millwall right. Well done in the end by Lewis Travis to cut across and snuff out the danger. Send the ball out for a Millwall throw. Quick check to the comments then, very quickly. Few hellos, and that's about it. Once again, throwing taken down the line. Headed away by Lenihan, taken down by Britton Diaz. Back with Rovers in defence. Kaminsky has Nyambe on short if he wants him. Decides not to use that option. Instead, instructs the Rovers players to go long. High ball flicked on by Gallagher, but to no avail. Millwall goal kick. Of course, Millwall coach Gary Rowett, obviously been around the Championship before, perhaps most notably with Birmingham and Stoke. Now in the dugout of the Den. And it's now Dolan. Looked to play it quickly for Buckley, but he was unable to get there. Now it's Millwall moving the other way. Evans. Cooper, the captain. Now with Saville. Dan Ballard. Arsenal only. Intelligent ball out wide from George Evans, but unable to find its intended target in McNamara. So, a Rovers throw then. Still goalless at the Den. Of course, the one news that I suppose has brought a smile to our faces is seeing Adam Armstrong score for Southampton, but of course doesn't mean anything for Rovers anymore. Nyambe looks to take it down. Well dispossessed in the end. As Millwall have won a free kick in a dangerous position. Slightly left of centre. I think Darrell Lenihan believes that there was a dive in the middle of all of that, but in the end the referee disagreed. It was Jed Wallace nipping in. And it's a free kick right on the edge of the area. That's probably 25 yards out from goal. Slightly left of centre. And Rovers have reason to be nervous. Every time he raises his voice, it's because we concede. I'll let you know if we concede. I probably should put the overlay on too, just to assert that it is still 0-0. Hopefully that doesn't change. So it's Jed Wallace and Scott Malone over the free kick. Obviously, Malone scored at Ewood for Millwall last season. He was on loan from Derby at that point. Now a permanent Millwall player. Still looking to wreak havoc on Rovers here. It will in fact be Wallace shooting it straight into the wall. So the build-up not really meriting the execution. Millwall still looking to go forward. Slice clearance from Gallagher. Wallace looks to shoot and it's audacious. Over the bar for a goal kick. Preston also losing again, according to the comments. Will they be down the bottom of the league this season? As long as it's not us. Long ball forward. Header won by the Millwall man. Nyambe unable to take it down. Wrestles with Wallace. And the Millwall man has infringed upon Ryan Nyambe. And so a Rovers free kick, 21 and 3/4 minutes gone in the first half at the Den. And the score is still goals, of course. What channel? I'm watching on Rovers TV because I'm based in Australia, so I'm based outside of the UK. If you're not, then I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you in that regard. As Keefton Beld under pressure from Dolan. Dolan as well to win the ball initially, but only momentarily. Malone looks to clip the ball forward for Millwall. Header won authoritatively by Darrell Lenihan. Tyrese Dolan rather couldn't control. And we're halfway through the first half at the Den here on Rovers Chat. As the ball is now back with Jake Cooper. In fact, this is now Jake Cooper. It was Murray Wallace who played the ball and then got it back. McNamara finds Afobe. Good hold-up play from the former Bournemouth man. Afobe again. Got space in which to move. Keefton Beld goes back to Murray Wallace. Cooper again. Malone looks to just turn it around the corner, but Nyambe wise to it. Millwall throw just inside the defensive half. Clip ball forward in behind, looking for Afobe. Pickering does well to take it out of the striker's path, but in the end couldn't prevent a corner. So another Millwall set piece that Rovers have got to deal with. It's becoming a recurring theme, and it's not a good one for Rovers. A barrage of corners here so far at the Den for Millwall. Hopefully, this isn't one that leads to the opening goal of the game. It's whipped in towards the back post. It won't lead to the opening goal of the game. Keefton Bell looks to recycle the attack. Got Buckley alongside him. Looks to beat the Rovers man and runs out of room. Goal kick for Rovers. Good work from John Buckley. Just to prevent Michael Keefton Beld any room to manoeuvre. I suppose my championship tab is open. Reading are 1 up at Preston. Huddersfield 1 up at... Or Fulham 1 up at Huddersfield. West Brom 2 up at Luton. Bournemouth 1 up on Nottingham Forest. Those games approaching half-time, and we've just crossed the midpoint. 15-minute delay for those unaware, although I'd assume most of you would be by now. But just in case. So, Millwall throw here, 25 minutes gone. Taken down the line towards Afobe. Was battling with Pickering, and in the end, it's the Rovers man who's won the throw. Just forward of halfway for Rovers. Dolan finds Travis, lets it run across his body. Looks to find Sam Gallagher here on the Rovers right. Now Dolan. Got room in which to move. Buckley across to Travis. Rovers have got a ton of players forward here. Nyambe finds Brayton. He's got Travis in support. Finds the academy graduate. And in the end, ball just goes out of play. The right-hand touchline for Rovers. They've got a throw taken quickly from Brayton Diaz. Return ball from Nyambe. Now Buckley. Travis. Brayton, was he pushed? He thought so. The referee didn't. Nyambe, intelligent ball in behind for Travis. And he won't get there. Very good work to come across from Murray Wallace. to sweep up for Millwall. Because it looked like a decent ball in behind, but Murray Wallace, of course, across to it, the Scottish international. Joined from Scunthorpe United in June of 2018. Remained at Millwall ever since. Trying taken to Tyrese Dolan. But in the end, it was Malone who got the final touch. Rovers throw. Again, once again, it is the right back in Nyambe to take. This time goes to Buckley. Nyambe dispossessed. Millwall looking to move forward. Poor ball inside, and Rovers have got possession back. Lenihan. Now Ayala home to Kaminsky. So Rovers being forced back here. Kaminsky looks to hoof the ball up towards Brayton. And that's another one. There's another one. Another time being confused between Brio and Gallagher. Millwall players just stopped waiting for the referee's whistle. Instead, he played advantage. Definite foul in there nonetheless. As they've got the ball in defence here, Millwall. Dolan pressing again. Not giving Millwall much time. Perhaps not as effective as of yet than Swansea was, but still a long way to go in this game, of course. But the pressure is effective here for Rovers. Buckley on the ball. Now for the visitors. Forward to Brayton Diaz. He's got Tyrese forward of the ball. And surely Brayton's been fouled. Referee disagrees. That looked a Stonewall free kick, but the referee's decision is the one that matters, and Rovers haven't got the look of the draw. Millwall back the other way. Intelligent ball. It looked like an intelligent ball anyway. The idea was intelligent, but the execution not so from Dan Ballard. It's behind 4-8. Rovers goal kick. 28 and a half gone. First half at the Den. Can I quickly dip back into the comments? Let's see. Have Rovers even had a shot yet? Not one that I can remember. Or not one that's been particularly notable. This game really has been bereft of any goal-scoring chances whatsoever, really, for either side. Phobe takes it down and wins Millwall throw. Whereabouts in Australia do you live? You have family in Melbourne. I'm an hour away from Melbourne. To answer your question, as Murray Wallace goes across, McNamara, Evans back to Danny McNamara, looks forward, but Rovers should deal with this one. Lenihan had to move quickly to get there, but got there in the end. Nyambe now on to Brayton Diaz, back to Ryan Nyambe, marauding down the Rovers' right, looks to keep the ball in play, and Malone very intelligently just gets himself in between Ryan Nyambe and the ball and sees it behind for Millwall goal kick. If we can get someone just to update the halftime scores as well for those in the chat across the championship, I suppose that would be beneficial for a lot of people. As the ball goes down the line, I'll update you with everything that's going on at the Den to the best of my ability. As Wallace looks to keep the ball in play, and he's done so here on the Millwall right. Works with Evans. Ball in field is a poor one, and Rovers could look to break here. Can they catch Millwall on the counter? Buckley now for Brayton Diaz. Crosses halfway. Got Dolan in that false nine position, but he loses out. And now Millwall looking to move forward. Malone now with Cooper across to Murray Wallace. And McNamara now gets the opportunity to move the ball forward for Millwall. Phobe in the middle. Good ball out wide. Chance for ball in the middle. Nyambe heads clear. Malone and Brayton battle. And it had to have been a handball. And Brayton runs over the top of him there. Tripped by the Millwall man after the free kick was given. Both Scott Malone and the Millwall fans are like furious with the decision, but it did come off the Millwall man's hand. So an easy free kick in my book. Thomas Kaminsky to take this one then. "32 minutes gone, and this game, if we're being honest, has been a bore fest." Nothing I'd rather do than watch Rovers, though, at this time. No matter if it is a boring game as this. Millwall look to play the ball around the back. It's Malone, formerly of Derby, as I mentioned before. Ball and ball was a dangerous one. Can Tyree Stolen latch on? No, he can't. In the end, Murray Wallace had to be quick to get there, and he was in the end. Millwall appealing for a free kick that won't be forthcoming. George Saville is the man down. Yeah, very good sliding challenge there from Murray Wallace ahead of Tyree Stolen to make sure that the former Preston youngster didn't get to the ball. Because when he does get on the ball, Tyree Stolen, Championship defenders absolutely hate it. He'll be a Rovers star for a while to come, I should think, Tyree Stolen. And the fact that we were able to get him on a free from near neighbours like Preston just sweetens it just that little bit more. Nyambe short to Brayton, but Malone in there ahead of him. Pickering takes it down. Goes laterally. Rothwell looks to find Dolan. Can he win the second ball here? He does well. Malone able to get a foot in, though. Onto Saville, who this time was fouled. To the appreciation of the Millwall fans. Travis, once again, industrious as always. This time, illegally industrious, according to the referee. Quick dip back into the comments if I can. Double charge me and I still can't access the game. That's a real shame, Forest City. I do hope you've sorted it. I suppose, and I hope this is the next best thing if you haven't. Millwall just working the ball forward here. Evans. McNamara. Option in the middle here for Millwall. And it's behind for a corner. So yet another Millwall corner. They had a lot from the left. This one will be from the right. Chance potentially for Millwall to get a goal here and gain the ascendancy as the half-time interval moves ever closer. Of course, hoping as Rovers fans that won't be the case as Wallace holds two arms aloft. High ball in, and it should be 1-0. It really should be 1-0 to Millwall. Jake Cooper heads wide, and a player of his calibre should be scoring from there. Right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Climbed higher than Ayala. And that's hard to do with Ayala's stature. Climbed all over him and in the end just couldn't get his header inside the upright, and Rovers live to fight another day. Game still goalless, but that probably the closest that either side have come to breaking the deadlock at the Den. Kaminsky goes forward. Chested down by Pickering. Gives the ball away. McNamara. Gallagher sees it out for a throw. McNamara steals 5 yards or so, probably more, maybe 6 or 7 yards on that Millwall right-hand touchline. But the throw is really advantageous to the home side now with Nyambe on the Rovers right. Lenihan clips it on, looking in behind for one of the Rovers front three to be on the same page, and neither of them were. Evans, Keith and Beld. Afobe gets up to win his header. Travis should take this down and does. Saville makes it tough for him, and Millwall have done well there. Afobe got room in which to move, drives forward in an enterprising fashion. Now finds Keith and Beld into the quarterback. Saville, McNamara whips one in, headed away by Lenihan on as far as Evans. Rothwell as well to take it down, finds Gallagher. Travis wanted Kaminsky to come, and he didn't end up doing so, and just about keeps it in play, does Travis. Good challenge in the end from Wallace on Pickering. Jed, that is. It sees it behind for a Blackburn goal kick as we near the half-time interval. No problem. No problem. I do really enjoy doing this. As the ball's forward from Kaminsky over halfway. Switch of play from McNamara finds Malone, chests it down to Saville. Back now with Murray Wallace. Ball forward from Ballard, decent delivery. It eludes Afobe. Malone cuts back, and that was on target, but Darrell Lenihan was there. Kaminsky probably had it covered in any case, but the Rovers captain blocks it behind for a corner. Millwall really working their way into this game. They look the more likely to score out of the two teams, if I'm being honest. It was very nonchalant from Darrell Lenihan just to see the ball behind for a corner. And it's yet another one which the visitors will have to deal with. It will be Malone's wonderful left foot to whip it in. Decent ball. Second ball won by Ayala. Apologies. As Malone. Posed by Brayton Diaz, who gets back and heads the ball away. Malone dispossesses him. Afobe, left-handed to the penalty area. Goes back to Malone, blocked by Brayton Diaz, and out for a Millwall throw. It's a Millwall free kick here. Benik Afobe has been upended. So, decent position this for Millwall in terms of field position. They would obviously wouldn't be position A1, but it's right in the middle between the left-hand touchline and the left-hand edge of the penalty area. It's almost smack bang middle of the two. As Malone just lofts this one in. Header on goal is over the bar. It's got away over the bar too, but this time it's the Arsenal youngster in Dan Ballard who couldn't keep his header down. First appearance for Millwall. In a competitive sense, came as QPR on the opening day. He's also been capped 5 times for the Northern Ireland international side. Despite being born in England, has family ties to Northern Ireland, so hence why he's eligible to represent them at international level. Header flicked on by Gallagher. Rovers don't keep possession long. It's headed out of play in the end by Ayala for a Millwall throw. I will say, across football commentary, I don't know if I've ever commentated a 0-0. Maybe in my first ever season in 2019. My brain can't stretch that far, but hopefully that doesn't change. Hopefully Rovers, obviously, are the ones coming out on top. As Malone looks to help the ball forward. Will be a Millwall throw. So it is Scott Malone for Millwall. Throwing taken. Murray Wallace under pressure from Rothwell, but he gets away from it, does the Millwall man. Ball forward now for Evans. Wallace got McNamara on his outside and uses him. Takes the ball in field. Ball across now for Millwall to Jake Cooper. Out wide to Malone. He takes it inside. Cooper. So Millwall just keeping possession here, right towards the end of this first half. Phobe. Surges down the Millwall right. Was he fouled? Referee says no. Assistant referee says no. And it's a goal kick instead with 2 minutes to go of the 45. Millwall turning up the heat on us. They are 100% Eugene. Rothwell needs to get in the game. He's been quiet. Definitely been quiet. Millwall look more likely to score out of the two teams. They've had the better spells, but they've been unable to convert any of them into goals, which is obviously brilliant from a Rovers point of view, but hopefully Rovers can make them pay. Lenihan forward towards Brayton Diaz, who will chase unsuccessfully across the touchline for a throw. One minute of the 45 to play. Really very little to speak of. Phobe inside his defensive half now. Dolan puts him under pressure. Working and working Tyrese Dolan. In the end, elects to let Bartosz Białkowski have the ball. Dolan still pressing though. Forces the ball long, which Kaminsky elects to keep in. As we tick towards the end of the first 45, unless some minor miracle, we will go in goalless. Long ball forward from Kaminsky, looking to change that. Flicked on by Gallagher in the end, but won't lead to a goal. Is there any added time? There is 1 minute, and Rovers will have the last attack of the game. There's a free kick here, and George Evans is furious that he's given that one away. He's furious with the decision, but in the end he won't change it. And so Rovers tight to the left-hand touchline, probably 35 yards out from goal. Call it maybe 30. Have maybe got a chance just to swing a ball in there and get a goal against the run of play. Rothwell and Pickering standing over it. The latter will whip it in. Pickering, decent ball. Bartosz Białkowski drops the ball. But in the end, a free kick given to Millwall. Rovers players furious. They didn't think they'd done anything untoward, but Białkowski is down. Puts 2 thumbs up. Let's have a look at the replay here. He didn't look too much in it, to be fair. No, it's his own man he's gone over. So he's gone over his own man there and he's dropped the ball. So never a free kick in a million years. I don't know what the referee saw there, but definitely should have been a free kick, but it is, and that's all that matters, as this will probably be the final act of the first half. An incredibly mundane first half is over. No goals, no goal-scoring opportunities, really. Maybe aside from a Jake Cooper header early in the first half that possibly should have troubled Thomas Kaminsky more than it did, but Rovers go into the break level, but goalless at the moment at half-time at the Den. It's Millwall 0, Rovers 0. So, Rovers fans, I'll answer a couple of those questions in a minute regarding how to watch the game. But any other questions you sort of got? Because we do have a Millwall fan in here, Malcolm. But if you want to watch the game, if you are outside of the UK, Rovers TV is your place to go. If you're inside the UK, I don't know how to help you. That's all I can say. But that hopefully answers your questions. I'm outside of the UK, so I can watch it on Rovers TV. But Rovers fans who did see that first half, what did you think of it? Or based on the commentary, what do you think? Because my estimation of that first half, very, very boring. We need to get into the game. Dolan's been very quiet. Michael Sandbach says definitely more of a Morecambe performance than a Swansea performance. I would be inclined to agree with you. Dolan, Brayton and Gallagher haven't really done anything at the moment. Travis has been tidy. I guess Ayala has been tidy. Nyambe has been an attacking outlet, but in the end, he hasn't been able to get the ball forward. Nothing to write home about. Aimless long balls. Tend to agree. Ashley says, need to pull their socks up. All very, very valid comments. I'll return to the comment section in a moment. Just going to have a quick 2-minute break just to sort myself out. I'll be back in a couple of minutes to further review the first half. At half-time here on Rovers Chat is Millwall 0, Rovers 0. Back in a couple of minutes' time. And welcome back to the Rovers Chat stream, the watch along for the Millwall versus Blackburn Rovers game at the Den. Second game for Rovers in the Sky Bet Championship 2021-22 season, and it is goalless. Probably one of the more boring Rovers halves that I've watched in recent years. But I suppose we've got to talk about it, don't we? A few comments just while I've been off air. Oscar says my man has hiccups. I'm on the back of a cold, so I'm just trying to get over it, but I'm still pushing through. I've had it for about 3 weeks. So that's what it is. It's not hiccups, it's a cough. So still getting through, which is nice. Eugene, probably a fair comment, mate, because I didn't mention John Buckley, who was very tidy. Just got his foot on the ball, played it around. I often say about centre mids, as a commentator, if you don't really mention the name of the centre mid, they're usually doing a decent job. So yeah, he's done well, Buckley. He's been up there. So so yeah, I'll give him the credit he deserves. New Pepsi can. I know. I'm assuming that Diego is Chilean. So there you go, mate. He says, "What's up? How are you? How's the match? How's Brayton playing? He's not done much wrong, but he's also been very quiet. He's been unable to work himself into the game as Brayton. Obviously, he's one of our better players, as you will well know, but he's not really done too much today. I'm assuming that that's asking the same question of sorts. So Brayton's playing on the left of the front three at the moment and has been very, very, very quiet, if we're being very honest, which is a shame, but hopefully that changes in the second half. Rovers fans, put your summations in the comments, because I don't think there's much really that we can say, I suppose, other than that it was a boring half. But if you've got anything else, just to give me anything to bounce off, because really there wasn't many talking points in the first half. Just to defer away from that, I might well just have a look around the Championship for some other scores. Reading 1-up at Preston. All these games have just started the second half, so we obviously had a delay. As I've mentioned, Reading 1-up at Preston, against Preston rather. Barnsley 1-up against Coventry. QPR 1-up at Hull. You've got Middlesbrough hosting Bristol City, and they're a goal up. West Brom hosting Luton, they're 2 goals up, 2-0. Fulham, decent away day at the John Smiths, they're 3-1 up, and it's 1 apiece between Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. We'll go to the Premier League ever so quickly, just to give me anything to talk about, because I say what, the Rovers first half has given me absolutely nothing by way of talking points. Leicester, goal up thanks to Jamie Vardy against Wolves. You've got Chelsea, they're 2-up on Crystal Palace. Alonso and Pulisic with the goals there. Watford, 2 goals up on Aston Villa. Ismaila Sarr and Bonaventure with the goals. Everton 1, Southampton 1. Well, we know who scored the Southampton goal. Richarlison has just equalised a few minutes ago. And the team that shall not be named are winning 1-0 against Brighton. Blackburn is favourite to go to Premier League. No, we're not. I wish we were, but we're not. It'll probably be more mid-table. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, and I wish you were right, but we're not. I'm at the cinema in Blackburn while the lad watches some kids' film. How are we playing? This comment might just about sum it up from El Scotty. Have we had a shot? No. It has been very mundane, and you have missed very little. Long balls. Trying to get the ball out wide. I think Nyambe is trying to get forward and use his attacking outlet. He's not really been caught out too much, to be fair, but we haven't had a shot. And Millwall haven't had many either. Millwall have been the better side and have looked more likely to score, but not much more likely. And judging how much that Rovers have looked unlikely to score, I hope that paints a picture for you of how boring that first half was. Mid-table's optimistic, true. I said, what did I say, 14th or 15th earlier on when I was asked the question. But technically that is more like mid-table than promotion, so I'll take that as a win. Or as I'm correct moment. Of course, the later games to come in the Premier League. Norwich will host Liverpool, Newcastle will host West Ham tomorrow, and Tottenham will also play against Man City tomorrow. So they're the games to come in Game Week 1 of the Premier League. I love how the only thing I'm talking about in this half-time break is what's happening elsewhere, because there's very little to talk about at the Den. There have been long balls. Obviously, I think Jed Wallace has been Millwall's best player, causing havoc. They've worked well down that right-hand side with McNamara. They've kept possession around the back and gone forward, usually down that right-hand side. Both fullbacks have had a little bit of joy. Obviously, Malone and McNamara have done okay, but there is very, very little of which to speak. Do you think TM will make any loan moves at all? Is there anyone he's eyeing up? Yes, there is. Rida Kadra from Brighton. We were going to sign him, and then they're just wanting to sort out if there's an injury. So I think that one might be done later. Leighton Clarkson from Liverpool. Tommy Doyle from Manchester City all been linked. Michael Obafemi is a permanent one who could come through the door. And we were linked with an Aberdeen player whose name I have forgotten. I do apologise. The Michael Sandbach, the L kit is nice, but is there any reason to have a third kit this season? Potential marketing. Game against Stoke, probably. or Forest or Millwall, hence why we're wearing it today. But no, there's not many teams that we couldn't play in either the red and black or blue and white. But maybe marketing, and it was a cool marketing video too with Colin Hendry in there. But in terms of the game in which it is being worn, it's not been a memorable one. Not been a memorable debut outing for the third kit. What kind of changes we do for a Blackburn competitive team? Well, obviously losing Armstrong doesn't help. 29 goals out of the team just like that. Obviously, Brereton looks to fill that void to some capacity. We could do with another striker to replace Armstrong, but it's whether we get one. Obviously, with the massive debt that we're in, we want to make improvements, but we can't make improvements at the moment because of the debt. Even if we have just got 10 million ourselves for Armstrong, obviously a large chunk of that fee went to Newcastle because of their sell-on clause, but that's another story for another day, I suppose. New owners, new backroom staff, new players. There's your answer. Although new owners is a tough one and rather ambitious. I think we're nearly ready for it. Match action again in the second half. Please let it be nothing like the first. Bastian Sandoval. I get this question a lot, so for the next watch along, I need to put this in the little video printer across the bottom because I get this a lot. Where can you watch the game? It depends on where you're based. If you're based in the UK, you can't watch it. If you're based outside of the UK, Rovers TV is the only place you can watch it, and that's a subscription. I'm based in Australia, so I can watch it because that is obviously outside of the UK. So depending on where you're based is whether you can watch it or not. If you can't watch it, I hope that this is somewhat filling that void for you. Say the only owners are thinking just making money. Well, they're not really making much. I agree that's what they're trying to do. Whether they're successful in that ploy is, well, it's rather obvious that they're not, because we're just more debt upon debt upon debt. And that's not a great thing. I've just spilt on my match prep. That is so annoying. That's okay though. Sometimes in America, I'm obviously not in America, so I wouldn't know. So thank you to DK Lopez for adding this information. They're on ESPN Plus. So if you're based in America, potentially there for you. And there's an answer there in Spanish for you. So Rovers TV is on the website, on the Rovers website. You can find that. It's up the top. So if you go onto the Rovers website, it'll say Rovers TV up there, and you can watch it there. So thank you, Diego, for the translation. But that's basically how I'll put that up for the next watch along for Forest, just so people, so I can answer that question for them without them having to ask it. Because I understand why that's a common question, because obviously you lot would rather watch the game, but if you're based in the UK, there's no way you can do that unless you go on a VPN, which I do not condone. We're apparently changing to a 5-back. Dolan off for Carter. Let me just see if Dolan is in fact off. Well, there is a Rovers player on the sideline at the moment, so that may well mean a change, which would make sense in regards to the comment that I believe is still up on the stream. I've just had to switch tabs. So Lewis has put this in, saying that we're switching to a 5-back. If we're switching to a 5-back, I don't mind Hayden Carter. I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler McGraw, though. But I suppose both centre-backs can do a job. So there is a Rovers change, and the scoreboard is currently blocking that change. So I would like to see the numbers, and I think that is a number 10. So I believe you're right. Hayden Carter's on. Tyrese Dolan is off. I think that's incredibly harsh on Tyrese Dolan. Sure, he's not been able to get into the game, but he's still been pressing. And if you're going to have him in that false 9 spot, let the man press. Leave him on so he can press. The Millwall defence will tire. I would not have made that change, but I am not a manager. So I've got faith in TM that he'll get this one right, although I'm not sure I agree with the decision to take him off. Let's see if it works. Second half about to get underway then. It'll be Millwall to kick us off through George Evans. So just for a bit of housekeeping, that is obviously now the old 11 that's up on the screen. So I'll try and quickly edit that. It's going to have to be very quick. I'm just going to put it in the same position. Please just know that Carter, this was in numerical order, and the second half is probably underway at this point. This was in numerical order. It won't be in numerical order now because I've just tried to quickly makeshift change this. So Dolan is now on, and the second half is, of course, now underway. Rovers have got themselves a throw. But just for a bit of housekeeping, Tyrese Dolan is off. Hayden Carter is on. And that's the only Rovers change. There may well have been a couple of Millwall changes in there as well. Although, I will just check to make sure. So that confirmation of the Carter and Dolan swap. I thought there may have been some Millwall players come on too, but it looks like they've started the second half as they've started the first. So the only change at half-time is a Rovers one. Appeals for handball against the Millwall player in Saville, fall on deaf ears. Lennon battles with Saville to try and win the ball back. Saville thought that he was entitled to a free kick. The referee didn't agree. Long ball down the line towards Gallagher, who chases. Bielkowski should clean up and does. Send it across the touchline for a Rovers throw. So somewhat encouraging from Rovers this start. Of course, we'd rather a goal. Obviously, a couple of years ago when we played against Millwall, it was a game on Sky, a late kick-off. And it was 0-0 for the large majority of it before two late goals, one from Adam Armstrong and one from Joe Nuttall, saw Rovers take all 3 points away from London. I wonder if a similar sort of game is in the offing here as Rani Ambe looks to wrestle through. Ends up not making a Millwall man there, but didn't get him much further than that. Lenihan up to win his header, flicked on. Ball high up in the air. Travis gets up to win his header. Niambe sets up John Buckley. Looks in behind for Gallagher. Appeals for offside. They're waved away. Murray Wallace just clips the ball down the line for Millwall. And across the line for a Rovers throw. Again, good pressing from Rovers, which is why I'm still a little bit bemused as to why Dolan's gone off. Obviously, I understand the change in system requires an attacking player to go off, but I don't know why we've changed the system. If it gets us 3 points, then I'm not complaining. Brayton unable to get the ball under his spell. Ball forward for Millwall towards Afobe, who holds off Hayden Carter, but not for too long. He does well to win the ball back. Does the Rovers substitute. Buckley looks to play it out wide. Ball over the top. Brayton chases down. Will he get there for Rovers? The answer is no, but he is able to win as a throw. Good position this for Rovers. Pickering to take. Throws to Ben Britton Diaz, who wins Rovers a corner. He did put Danny McNamara in an uncomfortable position, and it forced him to turn it behind for a corner. So Rovers have started the second half in a much better way than they ended the first, which is encouraging. So maybe the change of shape is shutting me up once and for all, but Rovers have got themselves a corner. Rothwell holds one arm off, whips it in. Bielkowski punches it away. Danger still not clear for Millwall. Chance for Rovers. Carter hits the side netting. Rovers won on another corner. Aren't going to get it. But an encouraging start for Rovers in the second half. To answer El Scotty's questions, we have now finally had a shot. As audacious as it was, I think it was Ayala who was lining up to shoot. And Carter took it off his toes and blasted the ball into the side netting for Rovers. As Malone goes back to go forward. Rovers should be able to deal with this one and do through Pickering. Ball forward should be dealt with by Bielkowski inside his own penalty area. Just claims the ball under absolutely no pressure whatsoever. Kieftenbeld. Buckley does well again. He could be on for another man of the match performance. He'd have been right up there for Swansea as well in many people's estimations. He could be on for another one here. Lenihan. Out wide to Nyambe. Lenihan making an adventurous run towards the Rovers' right. He's ignored and is well out of position, and Millwall have got the ball, recognising that want to go forward, but it's been overcooked and Kaminsky will deal with it. Lenihan leaves it for Rothwell. Nyambe goes back to Darrell Lenihan. Nice sidestep here from Joe Rothwell. Goes forward to Brereton Diaz. He's got space to move into. Does well to get past one. Was he fouled in the area? He thought he was. Referee turns it down. It was right on the edge. I thought on ostensible viewing it was inside the box. It matters not because the decision hasn't been given. You can argue that contact is inside the penalty area. It's Kieftenbeld, the Millwall player in question, but referee not seeing enough contact there to point to the spot. Afobe pressures Rovers and wins the ball back. A foul that Lenihan had to give away and will probably be booked for it too, I should think. And there is a yellow card out. First one of the game for either side is brandished in the 52nd minute. I'll just quickly dip back into the comments if I can. Right, let's see if I can do this. See what I can do. Clearly a penalty. I'm not sure about clear. It's one that you've potentially seen given. But if I'm being unbiased, which I will for just a moment on this stream, I'm not sure it was a penalty. But Millwall looking to create a chance of their own down the other end. Malone from the free kick, whips in, headed away. Wallace clips it back into the middle, just Jed Wallace. Headed away by Nyambe. Afobe does well to knock it past Buckley. And get there ahead of him too. Kieftenbeld. McNamara now for Millwall. Intelligent ball out wide, taken down by Malone. Plays it off Nyambe and out for a Millwall throw. Throwing taken short. Once again out off Ryan Nyambe. So Millwall got the ball on there, left-hand side. It'll be George Evans' job to take the throw here. It's a long throw into the penalty area, headed away. McNamara should reboot this one. Into the box for Millwall. Forced that wide to Jed Wallace, who immediately takes it inside. Good ball to a Afobe, edge of the area. Malone, further out wide. Murray Wallace finds Malone again, and in the end it ricochets back off a former Derby man and out for a Rovers goal kick. It was a joke, Chilean humour. I didn't spend that long analysing it, Diego. I quickly just flicked across. So I wasn't sure if you were serious or not. I think you could seriously claim that there was a potential penalty there. There are serious shouts. So I think if you were claiming seriously for a penalty there, I think you could be listened to, but I don't think it was. As much as that annoys me to say. Travis. Rothwell looks to clip it forward. Can't do so effectively from a Rovers point of view. Kieftenbeld looks for the diagonal switch. Taken down by McNamara, who's been up there with Millwall's best today, alongside probably Jed Wallace for me. Good challenge from Carter, but and then it falls very kindly for Malone, who can drive forward. 1-2, shot outside the area from Malone. Well wide in the end. You work with Sapp there to get the ball forward. And then the shot doesn't trouble Kaminsky, but Rovers not out of the woods yet. It was deflected en route, so it will be a corner from the Millwall left. 10 minutes gone in the second half, rather. And still, we are, as we started the game, goalless. Benikafobe just retrieves the ball there. Plays it to Scott Malone, who stands over the quadrant. Places the ball right on the edge of that quadrant. And whips it in. High ball, headed away at the back post. Millwall screaming for a potential penalty, but nothing doing. Jed Wallace looks at the 1-2. Buckley gets back again, and he was fouled. He was pushed. Surely he was pushed. Doesn't look as though the decision is going Rovers' way. It's another Millwall corner. It looks as though Buckley was barged over, but not to be. There was a Millwall player who has gone down there in the area. I think it was under Sam Gallagher's challenge, but the referee didn't see fit to award a penalty. So Malone will whip this one in now from the Millwall right, rather than the left as he did previously. Once again, Millwall absolutely crowding up 6-yard box, push and shove between the two number 5s in Cooper and Ayala, threatening to boil over. Players of both sides getting between the two number 5s, two massive centre halves. The referee will reprimand both of them. But only briefly. No further punishments required to either player. So a Millwall corner then still from their right-hand side. Whipped in towards the front post. Kept out in the end, headed away. And in the end, it's a free kick to Rovers. So some of the pressure assuaged somewhat. Able to survive yet another Millwall set piece. It's becoming a bit of a theme now. Can Rovers go forward and potentially capitalise off the back of one of their own, potentially? Who knows? Is Ayala injured yet? If you don't laugh, you cry at a comment like that. But the answer to that question is no. He's played all right. He's been really good for Rovers, I should think, because Brayton's given away a free kick. Brayton Diaz, I'll give him his full name. It's only right of me to. But Ayala has played very well today, in my very humble opinion. Him and Buckley are the two standouts. McNamara receives a free kick short. I wide to Jed Wallace, who still, despite no room in which to move, still finds some. Rothwell looks to sidestep the challenge of Kieftenbeld. Can't do so successfully, but Travis wins it back. Ricochets off Saville to Wallace. Afobe can't get past Travis, who does well to win it back. Cleared away. Great first touch in the end from Gallagher, who looks to move forward. Shows too much of the ball there to the Millwall man, and it's out of play for a Rovers throw. 14 minutes into the second half. Hayden Carter looks long, to no avail for Rovers. So again, the long ball strategy is not working. Travis takes it down, rolls it laterally to Rothwell. He's got space in which to drive and drive into it. He does. Got Nyambe to his right, uses him. And he's got options in the middle, goes back to Rothwell. Right-hand edge of the penalty area for Rovers. Back to Nyambe. Buckley now. Still on the Rovers' right. Gets past Kieftenbeld and was pulled down cynically. Got to be a yellow card. And John Buckley did ever so well to get the right side of Michael Kieftenbeld. And he was pulled down when he knew he was beaten. And on the stroke of an hour mark, Rovers have got a decent chance to potentially get the opening goal of the game from this free kick. Apologies for me being out of breath there. So it's Pickering and Rothwell. We've just ticked over the hour mark at the Den. So once again, it's one of Pickering or Rothwell to whip this one in and try and cause havoc in that Millwall penalty area. Just right of the edge of the penalty area. And it's Rothwell to whip it in over the head of Lenihan. Brereton Diaz looks to retrieve and will do so. Keeps the ball in play. Kieftenbeld was booked, by the way, for the challenge on Buckley, who whips the ball in towards the back post. Kept alive by Ayala. No one was there to get on to the end of it. As the fouler becomes the fouled. Kieftenbeld unfairly impeded by John Buckley on that occasion. How's Pickering? He's been okay. He's been good. I think he's one who can hold his head high. If you rate all Rovers players average on today's performance, I think Ayala, Buckley, and Pickering get slightly above average. You can potentially have an argument to throw Niambe in that list too. It's been the defenders mainly who've done most of the good work. As Ayala wants Kaminsky to come and claim it, it does. So just under half an hour of the 90 to play at the Den. Still goalless, not many shooting chances. The Rovers have only had one, really. Hayden Carter hitting the side netting early in the second half. None before or since. Brereton goes infield to Gallagher. Buckley looks over the top for Brereton. He was onside. Brereton Diaz breaks the area. And he actually was offside. They've waited a long, long time to put up the flag with the assistant referee. I thought he'd timed his run perfectly, but he'd straight offside. He'd had Ben Brereton Diaz. Oh no, people are saying 1-0 Millwall. Am I behind? Let's see. Ball over the top, into the middle. And Jed Wallace has scored. So it is 1-0. And Jed Wallace has put the ball into the back of the net for Millwall in the 64th minute. The hosts are a goal to the good. You lot knew before I did. I flick across for 1 second. And Millwall have got the ball in the back of the net. Probably on merit. They deserve to be in front, but they haven't created much, to be fair. Really good switch of play. Malone, first time ball was exquisite. Put on a plate for Jed Wallace. All he had to do was tap home, and he did. And it is Millwall who lead. They've looked the more likely to score. And finally, Rovers' resistance breaks. Oh, that's just knocked the wind right out of my sails. If we're being honest, Millwall deserve to lead, but it's just when it happens. When the inevitable happens, it still hurts, despite the fact that it's been on the cards. Real shame for Rovers. Hayden Carter heads forward. Rovers can still look to the bench, of course. By way of attacking changes, still Harry Chapman and Dan Butterworth on the Rovers bench. Hayden Carter surely handled that. The Millwall fans definitely thought so. I thought so. As Millwall move forward yet again. Free kick not given, only a throw. So in terms of the Rovers subs still unused, you've got McGlaw, Garrett, Davenport, Chapman and Butterworth. And I doubt that Jordan Easton will get on either. As the ball is forward. McNamara as well. Cuts it across and it's saved by Kaminsky. Still bounced around the Rovers defensive penalty area. Shot on goal. Ricochets, finds his way to Carter, who looks to clear. And just clears the ball as far as he can, in truth. Up towards Brayton Diaz, who looks to chest it down. Well won in the end by Travis. Brayton Diaz on the Rovers left. Wins inside a throw right on halfway. This is the chance. Ball played forward in the end by George Evans. McNamara did ever so well to get past Buckley. One of the first time he's been beaten in a situation like that all game, which is a credit to the Millwall man, who has been quality, to be fair. And there's penalty claims as the ball came off the arm of John Buckley, but it was tucked into his body. There was no way the referee was giving that. Kaminsky looks high and long. McNamara able to worry Harry Pickering out of it. Still Millwall 0, Rovers 1. In the haste of all that, I haven't changed the StreamYard. Pains me to do that every single time we concede, but I've got to do it. Hopefully next time I change it, it's a Rovers goal. As Wallace takes it down, forward from Ayala. Nicely taken down by Buckley on first viewing, but Keefton Bell was able to nip in and steal it. Now forward for Saville. Can he keep the ball in? He can. He's got Lenihan for company. Malone on the underlapping run, and the ball is harmlessly played out of play from the Millwall player in Saville. Buckley ordered to move back before taking the throw, and in the end he won't even take it anyway. It'll be left to Ryan Nyambe for the throwing duties. We'll never go up or change over Mowbray. Well, it's Mowbray's last season in charge, most likely, and we're not going up this season. Sam Gallagher is down. In fact, there's a couple of players apiece down here. There's a long ball. Bialkowski got up to claim it. Ended up getting there. Bialkowski's hobbling. It's not a head injury for the goalkeeper, but one wonders what it might be for the two outfielders, one from either side. The Rovers player being Sam Gallagher. Unsure as to whom the Millwall man is. In any case, they're both back up anyway. So, no changes required in the immediate aftermath of that challenge, but we wait to see if there are any changes in the offing of a tactical nature. Obviously, I did mention Chapman and Butter were still on the bench. They still are. Still able to be called upon by Mowbray should he want to use them. It is a surprise that neither one of those has come on yet. I've got to try and chase this game being a goal down. Travis down for Lenihan. Good ball forward for Brayton, who won't get there ahead of McNamara. Taken down nicely by Ayala, who observes his options and goes back to Kaminsky. Just clips it forward in hope rather than in expectation. Breaks for Buckley. He goes high for Brayton. Climbing up was Carter. Phobe chests it down. And he was adjudged to have been fouled. Ayala disagrees. But his opinion doesn't matter. It's only the one of the referee that does in this case. And so with 20 minutes of the 90 to play, Rovers still searching for an equaliser. At least Brighton are winning. Oh, Brighton winning against Burnley. Okay. I'd rather Rovers be winning though, of course. Long ball forward from the free kick. Breaks for Rothwell, who somehow keeps it. He does well to do so. Under the pressure of two Millwall players, finds the ball to Nyambe. Down the line for Buckley. It won't stay in. Just out of play. Sums up Rose afternoon so far. Little things just not going to plan for the visitors. In all yellow. And you just think whether it's going to be Rovers' day. Obviously, Peterborough scored twice in added time to defeat Derby earlier today. I don't think, unless there's some long injury or more train delays, that we'll have 10 minutes of added time. But hopefully we can have a resurgence somewhat similar to Peterborough's earlier in the day. As the long ball from Kaminsky was flicked on by Gallagher. The clearance was straight off his face and he's gone down in a heap of Sam Gallagher. Probably just rather a blow than anything else, as Phobe looks to wriggle past Travis. In the end, Travis has fouled him. The former Liverpool youngster furious with the decision, but won't change it in the end. So the free kick for Millwall. 110th Rovers appearance today for Lewis Travis. And it's not looking to be one of a celebratory nature. Can't see Chapman or Butterworth changing things. I mean, you may as well give them the chance, though. You know, Butterworth hasn't looked bad in the cameos he's had, especially against Swansea in the league. He looked okay, so I'd give him the chance. Let's see if he gets the chance. Free kick first for Millwall on their left-hand side. Wallace towards the back post. Now Travis goes back to Carter. He goes a little long. Again, hopeful ball that just isn't working. And here are the changes that I spoke of. Chapman and Butterworth both on. Pickering makes way. Buckley makes way. Our two best players, probably, in my opinion, if we exclude Daniel Ayala from these discussions, are off. Harry Chapman did well last season at Shrewsbury Town. 9 goals and 8 assists with the Shropshire outfit in League One last season. Can he produce any magic here at the Den to get Rovers a point or more? Rothwell looks to sidestep. Jed Wallace couldn't do so successfully. Rovers throw. And ever so slowly, time is becoming of the essence. Ayala back to Kaminsky. An uninspiring display from Rovers. Still time to change that. But it's the likelihood of it changing, being low, that is concerning. Ball into the feet of Brayton, who holds off the challenge there from Jake Cooper. Lenihan looks over the top. Brayton looks to head it down. Still a chance. It was Chapman on the edge of the box. Carter picks it up. Out wide to Nyambe. Looks for Brayton. Diaz on the Rovers' right. Now Nyambe again. Travis. Back with Brayton. Got Butterworth inside if he wants him. Is it back to Travis, who negotiates the challenges of Afobe and Saville? Tough one in from Afobe. And it's too tough according to the referee, and it's a free kick for Rovers. Just over 15 minutes to play of the 90. 5/6 of the game gone, 1/6 to go. And it's a quarter of an hour that needs to be much better than the first 75 if Rovers are going to get themselves back into the game and leave London with anything really. They're on course to leave empty-handed. Will that change from this set piece potentially? Rothwell into the middle. Header on goal is in! It might well change! Brilliant header on goal and Rovers are level! It's the fan favourite from Chile, Ben Brayton Diaz! It was always going to be! The Chilean sensation does it again for Rovers! 2 goals in the league already this season! 1 from the penalty spot and 1 with a wonderful header that Bartosz Białkowski was never going to do anything about! And out of nowhere, Rovers are somehow level at the 10. Millwall 1, Rovers 1, 15 minutes to play. Could that give the away side momentum to take all 3 points? Beautiful, picturesque delivery from Rothwell onto the head of Brayton Diaz, who got his head onto it and saw it into the bottom corner. And from nowhere, the away side have a prayer. They've got a hope. Rovers back level, parity restored. And maybe, just maybe, we can search for all 3 points on the away day rather than staring down the barrel of none. What a header that is. What a header. Of course it's him. It had to be him. Had to be Ben Brayton Diaz. He's no myth, but he is certainly a legend. Ben Brayton Diaz. Whose story, if you'd have told it at the start of last year, would have been quite unbelievable. Is coming to fruition. And Rovers' main man after the departure of Armstrong shows his worth yet again. Rovers looking to search for a winner. Butterworth chests it down. It won't break for any of his teammates in yellow. Ayala. Just over 12 to play in the 90. Now the optimism is increased. Ball clipped in behind. Not a bad option. Was looking for Brayton Diaz, who applauds him immediately. Good work in the end from Dan Ballard to snuff it out, because that was a brilliant ball in behind. There was a curl on it, definitely. It nearly released Brayton Diaz in for a second, but Rovers have got a corner. And all of a sudden, who knows? Rothwell will take it. He'll take it short to Chapman. Ball in towards the back post. It's too long for Ayala, who did stand at the back post and couldn't get there in the end. Come on, let's get these comments up, shall we? Fantastic header from nowhere. The Chilean flags. Come on, you Blues. Goal. Wasn't expecting that. Viva Diaz. Get him a new contract this afternoon. I can't agree with any of these comments anymore. All of them that I've just put up on the screen reflect how I'm feeling right now, because I did not expect that, but I'm loving the goal all the same. And it gives Rovers a potential route back in. Ball short. Somehow it gets to Butterworth, who drives with pace. Searing forward is Dan Butterworth. Step over. Brace inside the area. Chapman left, and it's claimed by Białkowski. A chance that looks so promising dissipates into nothing. How many more will Rovers get? A point wouldn't be a bad result, to be fair, off the balance of play, but not since the closing stages of Jack Walker's ubiquitous presence at Ewood Park in 1997. Of Rovers started a league campaign with 2 successive wins. Back when Rovers were mixing it with the elites of English football. Now in the second tier, they're looking to accomplish the same feat. And now have dreams of doing so. 10 minutes ago, they didn't seem to have a prayer. How quick football can change. How wonderful a sport it is as Brayton can't keep it on. Millwall throw, and now they will look to the bench. Double substitution. And Leonard comes on for his 3rd appearance. George Saville is off. And Matt Smith comes on in place of Benica Fobe, so like for like. Rovers have, of course, used all 3. This is the first time that Millwall have gone to the bench. And it is a double change. Rovers fans, how are we feeling in the comments? I can't go over to them at the moment because the throw-in is about to be taken. Taken long down the line, flicked on immediately from Smith. Looks to find Wallace, who goes down in a heap. And he's bought the free kick. Clutching his face. And the Rovers man's been booked there. I need to see a replay of that, definitely. It's Daniel Ayala, who just puts his arm across him. Never a foul in my book, but just puts his arm across Jed Wallace and he goes down in a heap. But it's a Millwall free kick right on the edge of the area. Right-hand corner. Dangerous position, undoubtedly, and Rovers have got to deal with it. It's a soft free kick to say the least, but it's been given. And Scott Malone will have a potential chance to orchestrate something here. Chapman, the one-man wall for Rovers. Malone with a bit of a shape on the delivery toward the back post. Still not clear. Header is just over the top. In the end, from the substituting Leonard. Just over the bar. And Rovers survive. Another question from Millwall. The questions becoming plentiful and a lot of them quite hard to answer, but Rovers are just about getting by here. Kaminsky looks long from the goal kick, as you'd expect him to. Gallagher got up to win the header, but to try and win the header, but couldn't do so. Breaks kindly for Millwall. Chapman looks to get back on terms to compete with Wallace. Carter gets across to win the ball and take it out for a Millwall throw. George Evans will take this one for Millwall. It's a long throw into the middle. Rothwell gets a second header away. It's headed further clear on towards Brayton. Looks to help it on towards the path of Dan Butterworth, but the Rovers substitute couldn't get there in the end. Bielkowski goes short to Wallace, immediately pressed by Dan Butterworth. Applies the same pressure to Bielkowski, but he gets it forward. Nice 1-2 between Rothwell and Chapman. Rothwell holds off McNamara. And Keefton Bell does really well. Finds Darrell Lenihan, who marauds forward uncharacteristically. Finds Rothwell. Hasn't really been in this game. Can that change now, other than the assist, of course? Brayton on the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Rovers plays in the middle. His cross is repelled. The first time of asking. Second ball back in. Dealt the same treatment. Travis gets there first to mop it up. Out wide to Chapman. to try and work something for Rovers. To try and get in between two. Couldn't do so. It was McNamara in the end that helps worry him out of it. Throwing taken short here for Millwall. Jed Wallace looks to move forward. There's a Millwall player down in a heap off the ball. It's a slight bit off the ball. This ball is clipped in towards the back post. Smith will chase it down, or try to at least, but in the end it crossed the line and behind for a goal kick. So Rovers back on level terms. It looked inevitable at one stage that Rovers would be tasting defeat. At least for now, there are reasonable hopes of avoiding that and potentially pushing on for more. Header won by Brayton. In fact, it was Gallagher. I keep getting those two confused. Brayton applied the pressure. Ayala, interesting header, but should find the Niambe. Does. He muscles off Scott Malone with ease, does Ryan Niambe. Ball played forward. Maury Wallace. Now to Cooper. Looks long. Won by Smith, knocked down. Cleared away in the end by Darrell Lenihan. To Gallagher, who chests it down. Looks to turn Cooper. And he's unsuccessful in doing so. Millwall throw taken short by Cooper to Kieftenbeld. Smith. Nice control. McNamara takes it inside. Ball played out wide. Now, as Millwall look to get a shot on goal, it's blocked en route by Carter. Still not away. Carter clears it high into the air. Headed forward by Leonard. Repelled yet again from Rovers. Lenihan again. Brayton surely fouled, and he was. Given away in the end by Dan Ballard. And with 3 minutes of the 90 to play, Rovers have a free kick here. Third and final change. Billy Mitchell on, George Evans off for Millwall. So both sides have used all three available substitutions to them. Less than 3 of the 90 to go. Rovers on course for an a point that seemed unlikely at one point, of course. A point that we would no doubt take on the balance of play, I'd assume. Kaminsky lofts it forward. Can 1 become 3? Taken down by Travis. Forward to Brayton Diaz. Looks for Niambe. Can Rovers steal it late? Inside the area he goes. Looks to loft it in. Blocked by Malone. Swept in first time. Towards Chapman and Gallagher, who'd got there towards the back post. Neither of them are able to get onto it. Chapman throws in short and gets the ball returned back to him. His pass in the end was intercepted, was Harry Chapman. As Travis needs to get back into position here, Kieftenbeld looks to move forward. Ball forward, Carter flicks it out of play. Millwall appealing for a free kick. Did they get it in the end? I think they have done. $60 then of 5,400 then to play. Less than now, plus, of course, any added time. Scott Malone to stand over it, just right of centre. Just outside the area. Lofts it in. Header on goal is just wide. Millwall killing for a corner. Rovers for a goal kick, and the latter is eventuated. Rovers survive yet another question from Millwall. Still posing them right till the very last. But the 90 minutes are up and 4 more to go. I don't even know if I'm on camera at this point. I am there. Kaminsky will look to take this one long. Smith holds the ball up and was fouled. Travis stands over the ball. He wants a point. He's trying to preserve what Rose have got left. Malone looking to get Millwall all 3 points. He stands over the free kick. Lofts one high. Headed on towards goal. And behind for a goal kick for Rovers. So time trickles away. I think Rovers would take a point from here, you know. I think they would take a point. The Rovers fans up high in the opposite stand to Kaminsky. Trying to make their voices heard. Trying to will their team to a point. Flicked on by Britton to Butterworth. Does really well. Can he break inside the area? Dan Butterworth tried to pull it across and Bielkowski gets there. Throw it out wide. Malone. Kieftenbeld. Forced back by the Britton pressure. Gallagher applies yet more. Oh, he nearly charged down. The clearance from Bielkowski by Gallagher. Headed central. Rovers might have one last chance. Butterworth was caught on his heels there. McNamara. Dispossessed unfairly. Rothwell's down in a heap. Referee has stopped play here. Is this a time-wasting issue or is this an injury issue for Joe Rothwell? The referee would be wary of both, and they're calling for a physio. So, looks like we probably will get more than 4. Obviously, Rovers have used all 3 substitutes, so with Carter, Chapman and Butterworth all on, if Rothwell is to be withdrawn here, Rovers will have to play with 10, and he does not look in a good way. Yeah, he does not look in a good way at all. Immediately hobbling, collapse to the ground. And despite the potential claims of time wasting, I don't think this is that. Don't think this is. I think Rovers would take a point here if they can get it. Rothwell still down. 4 minutes are nearly up, but we will surely, of course, get more as a result of this stoppage. How much more, we don't know. Rothwell back up to his feet. And right at this game's conclusion, he is hobbling, so it's not time wasting at all. He's walking a bit straighter, but still hobbling. So I think this is a problem for Rovers. Probably another minute for Rovers to survive after the Rothwell injury. Rovers are down to 10. Not because of disciplinary issues, but injury issues. Problem for Rovers all the same. Long ball forward. Will Millwall take it late? Kaminsky claims, and that might be Millwall's last chance. Will Rovers be able to fashion one more to potentially steal it? I think they're just looking to try and secure a point. Kaminsky's trying what he can do to try and waste a little bit of time. Long ball forward. 5.5 minutes play. The referee still wants more. Millwall win the header. Chested down by Travis. Free kick to Millwall. Moving up towards 6 minutes played here of added time. More than the 4 we expected, but due reason, of course, for that with the Rothwell injury. Bialkowski will look long. Of course, at Ewood, when these sides met last season, Millwall thought they had a penalty shout turned. Well, they did have a penalty shout turned away. They wanted a penalty in about the 7th minute of added time. Will they win it late with a goal in around the same time? I don't think so. I thought the referee put his whistle to his mouth. They could potentially win it here. Chapman nutmegs his opponent. That will be that. A positive point for Rovers. A good result that didn't look feasible 20 minutes into or 15 minutes into the second half. But just after, the main man himself, Ben Brereton Diaz, the new Rovers cult hero, copped a barrage of abuse from supporters all across the club. They've all seemed to have gone quiet now. I won't even lie, I've been a critic of Ben Brereton in the past, but he is a new player, a new man after this Copa America experience, and don't we all love to see it? He scored with a wonderful header, put on a plate for him by Joe Rothwell, and Rovers somehow take a point away from the Den, full time at the Den, in Rovers' second league game of the season, and it finishes Millwall 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. I will take that. Everyone's saying that every point counts. Everyone's saying it. And they have every right to say it. Take the point all day long. 1-1 finish. Yep, 100%. 100%. In fairness, Millwall, if there were any side that probably deserved to win it, it probably was Millwall. But did any side deserve to win it is the question. I suppose it doesn't matter. Because neither side has. Great result for Rovers. Definitely. When that header went in, oh, buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. But Rovers have got a point when a point looked unlikely at one time. I think if I'm to sum up the game, it wasn't the most exciting game. The prediction I gave was what eventuated. Oh, brilliant header. I've switched back to the StreamYard, Eugene, just to answer your question about Joe Rothwell. So I haven't seen how he's looked, so I was reacting to the comments. But he didn't look good walking off of the pitch when he was injured. I don't know if he came back on. I didn't see him come back on in that final moment or so. No team has won 2 yet, so we're all good. Yeah, that's good. Still in the top 6. On for a promotion push for sure. I'm only joking. I don't think we will be, but still a win against Swansea and a point away at Millwall. If you'd have said to me at the beginning of the season, you're having 4 points from 6, will you take that? I'd say 100%. 100% I'll take 4 points from 6. And I think if you ask any Rovers fan, in fact, I will ask you before I head off, are you happy with 4 points from 6? Because I reckon the overarching consensus is that 95% of Rovers fans in the comments are happy with 4 from 6. I am 100% happy. I suppose we'll run through the championship scores. Most of those games would have been well done by now. David says yes. Hell yes. See, yeah, I knew it, lads. I knew it. Lads and any potential ladies watching the stream, You know, it's one of those, whoever you are, I think Rovers fans are all happy with a point. And of course, it's been great to see you all in the chat, of course, as always. And we hope to see you back for Forest. I won't leave you just yet. We'll run through the final scores in the Championship and in the Premiership as well. In the early game, Peterborough did beat Derby County by 2-1. A late surge from the home side got them over the line. Reading beat Preston by 2-1. Birmingham and Stoke both drew blanks, so 0-0 draw at St Andrews. Barnsley successful in a win over Coventry. They won 1-0. Hull City were reduced to 10 and smashed at home 3-0 by QPR. Obviously, Millwall Rovers, we know. Middlesbrough beat Bristol City 2-1. Blackpool fell to Cardiff City 2-0 at Bloomfield Road. West Brom beat Luton Town 3-2. Obviously, a game that looks dramatic on paper, but when you put into context that Luton did have a goal scored in the 98th minute to make it 3-2, it's not that dramatic. Huddersfield 5-1. They lost against Fulham. Fulham actually did go down to 10 as well in that. Harry Wilson sent off in the 72nd minute. And that could be something. Rovers' opponents midweek in Nottingham Forest, they also lost 2-1 against Bournemouth. David Brooks and Philip Billing got the goals. David Brooks also sent off later on. Scott McKenna for Forest, so they lose. Rovers get a point. I'm a lady watching the stream and very happy with 4 points. So, I think that 4 points is more than happy with, and 100%. I'll take that. 100%, I'll take that. I love seeing Trav going to bat on a game like this. Well earned point. I'm going to assume that you've fallen foul to a very poor autocorrect there, so I do sympathise. It is a very well earned point. 100%. 4 points from 6 is promotion material, so got to be happy, but majorly concerned over lack of signings. I think there's reasons why that is. Obviously, we all know those. So hopefully later in the window we get those signings done. Happy with 4 points. Yep, I think we all are, to be fair. I think for any Rovers fans to say they're not happy with 4 points, I think I'll call you ludicrous. But yeah, absolutely buzzing with that. So to all Rovers fans watching the stream, thank you for joining me this afternoon. In fact, I did promise before I do end up signing off, I did promise I'd run through the Premier League scores, and I wouldn't mind knowing them myself. So we'll end on that note. Leicester 1-0 over Wolves. Jamie Vardy's goal enough to win it. Chelsea 3-0 over Palace. Trevor Chalobah got a goal. Fair play. So Villa fought back 3-2. Danny Ings got himself a goal late on, but not enough. 3-2 to Watford. Everton 3-1 winners over Southampton. Adam Armstrong's goal, not enough to see Southampton over the line. And Brighton did beat Burnley 2-1. So that team, the near neighbours, unable to get the win, as we weren't either. But there we go. There's the stream done. Glad to have you all here, to be fair. Very happy to have brought this one to you. It's been very enjoyable yet again. And to see all you lot in the comments is very, very nice. Stop the league now. Yeah. I think Ryan predicted a 1-1 draw. I did too. So that is where I will end it. Make sure you keep across all the Rovers Chat socials for the remaining content that's going to be coming up. There will be a bit to come, of course, for from this Millwall game for the fallout, and also leading into the Nottingham Forest game midweek. I will be back as loud as ever, and hopefully as enthusiastic as ever. Hopefully in a little bit of a better state. Hopefully free of this this cold, but I'll be back soon for the midweek game against Nottingham Forest. Until then, stay safe, take care, and bye for now. Come on, you Rovers. And of course, we will finally remind you that we are sponsored by 6 Yards Out, as I try and get the sponsorship up. Of course, like and subscribe, of course, if you haven't done so already. But we are, of course, sponsored by 6yardsout.com. Good night.
The Rovers Chat YouTube channel is proudly sponsored by 6yardsout.com. They've got retro football from every era with mugs, phone cases and much more. They also have plenty of Rovers goods, including apparel with the famous 94-95 season and this season's kit. Check them out using the link in the description below.